Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on Twitter at MMMShow75. And we got a hot one here, y'all. A hot one. Today, we're being joined by none other than the Lucha Gringo. What's up, Lucha Gringo?
Hey, what's up? Oh, I'm so pumped for so many reasons right now, you guys. Oh, man. We'll get into it in a bit. At Lucha Gringo, a.k.a. KC, what's up? Hi. Godzilla.
Well, you know, this is my post-birthday party special, as Mr. Andre just pointed out.
You already had a birthday, Justin.
I know, but this is the post-birthday party special. I'm trying to get known. I'm trying to get real. I'm trying to get, I don't know, famous.
Yeah, and you know, Justin, I just want to wish you a happy birthday, but there's one other person very dear to my heart that I would like to wish a happy birthday to yesterday.
Oh, somebody else had a birthday yesterday? Who was that?
Yeah. The great man known as Justin Bieber.
The Biebs, that's right, the Biebs. You know, Big E. Big E was also his birthday yesterday.
Everyone's third favorite flock member, Scotty Riggs.
Scotty Riggs.
I just wanted to wish me a happy birthday for yesterday as well.
On behalf of birthday too, Byron. Hi, buddy. How are you?
I thought we decided that I had won this whole birthday thing and that you were on the outs. That was it for you.
No. We decided that I won the birthday.
No. I'm sorry. Don't wait.
I won at Fair and Square in the mountains of South Lake. No, not South Lake.
You won that edition. This edition, I won this. Okay.
This is great podcasting, you guys.
All right.
I just want to tell everyone what's going on. I am July 29th. I share my birthday with the great Big Papa Scott Steiner. Justin has to share his birthday with Byron. So I think we can all agree I'm the winner in the birthday
I'm not
contest.
Sharing this shit. I'm not. The shit is mine. Look, anyway, besides, let's get to something important because it's definitely not Byron.
I mean, what we can agree on is that you had it first.
Okay, look, today's guest. No, I'm getting to the important thing. The man is sitting there waiting on you. You're
the one talking about your birthday for an hour.
Mute, edit, mute. Anyway, today's guest seriously needs no introduction. In fact, he's so over that he decided to come give us the rub. And we're probably never going to be as famous as he is, but we'll take the rub any way we can get it. So anyway, it's none other than Lucha Underground's Famous B. What's up, B?
Oh.
What's going on, guys? How you guys feeling? Thanks for having me tonight, man. I'm excited, man. I'm pumped up. Oh man, I've been checking out you guys' show, man, for quite some time, man, and just hearing all the interviews you guys been doing with with El Jefes, my Jefes, the bosses, Roach, and EB Dub and everybody. So I'm excited to be on, man.
Well, don't be intimidated or worried. They're only listening to and writing down everything that you say on this show, so it's nothing to sweat. Those fools probably don't even listen when they're not on. They're probably like, whatever. I'm not on there today. They're just looking for my name in lights.
No, I wouldn't say that, man. I'm pretty sure they're big fans of the show. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on.
I hope that's the case, man. I mean, that and the money I keep sending them, but we'll get into that later.
So that means that you're gonna cut me a check. All right,
yeah, cool. I wish.
Hey, I came on to do it for free and chop it up with you guys, but hey, now that you let the cat out the bag, man, it's like, okay, it's time to get his egg, because that's what I do, baby. That's what I do.
You got services rendered. 423 get fame, Justin. Come on.
Well, and we're gonna get into some 423 get fame because that junk is still over. That junk is always over. That shit was on TV again last night.
That reminds me, I have to apologize to Mr. B here because I did not mean for that little troll-like person to take the football pads from me and hit you with them in the Believers Backlash match. Those were for you.
Oh, okay.
Those were for you.
That was for me, right?
Yes.
All right.
Just wanted to make sure. Clear the arrow.
I got my eye on you. Man. I'm watching you, man. I mean, it sounds good, since, I'm right here, chopping it up with you guys, It sounds like a very peculiar time for you to come out and make that confession to me. But, I'm watching you.
See, I wasn't even going to say that.
We'll see as the show goes on if there's any validity to that statement. We'll see.
I was trying to keep it a secret that we were even there because I was hiding behind Gus with my kendo stick trying to get in some little.
Yeah. Speaking,
I would have stopped.
Yeah. I think Gus gave him a can of soda. He threw all over my suit, ruined my suit.
Oh.
That was right before then. I mean, I was literally in shock. Like, you know, my beautiful salmon colored Dr. Wagner Jr. suit was ruined. He threw, I don't know if it was a Mountain Dew or what kind of soda. It was sticky. It had to be soda. I'm like sitting there in shock that he would even stoop that low. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
To throw soda all over me, and then next thing I know, he comes charging, you know, at me with some what mini football pads and a helmet.
That all came right off of that man right there, the Lucha Gringo, Casey.
Hey, you know what? I was just holding the helmet for some reason. It was way too small for my head. I don't know why, but the pads fit me.
Now, hey, Casey, who had the fire extinguisher gimmick? Because that junk did not work. Somebody sold Masquerita down the river with that junk.
I'm gonna just go out on a limb and I'm gonna blame Byron, even though he wasn't there, because he probably would have held it if he was there.
Who was it? Did Chicky have it or who else?
I don't even know. It was someone on the other side, probably some noob, you know.
Some noob basically messed up that whole extinguisher spot. You know, that would have been a great spot right at the beginning and blow up the whole thing. And, you know, I'm not letting the cat out of the bag because we've already talked about this on this show, but that spot would have been crazy to start off with. And then,
but then it got to start off with my weapon, so it was okay.
Well, which was cool because on TV, you don't see the 25 of us all standing around trying to figure out how to use one damn fire extinguisher. Like, thank God the temple has never caught on fire because apparently, you know, 4 wrestlers, 400 believers, and 10 producers can't fucking get a fire extinguisher to work.
Hey, you know what? They got it to work pretty fast when Aerostar accidentally caught the ring on fire a little bit. So that was good. They extinguished that one quick.
Yeah. Well, you know. Did you guys test that gag earlier or something? Did somebody blow out the fire extinguisher ahead of time? I just don't know what happened.
I mean, it always works during the MAC matches.
Yeah.
That's true. It does. It does. Because I've sat very close to that, and you can taste it. It's not good.
But see, I think that B probably had something to do with it. I think he slid Brenda extra 20
just to let the air out a little bit.
Like, look, I'm not taking no damn fire extinguishers. I'm not trying to mess with no plate. Go back there and mess up all this stuff. Like, gave her a list of. That was a fun match.
Fire extinguisher, popcorn. Fire extinguisher, popcorn. We'll take the popcorn every time.
We love the hot butter. Say what?
Popcorn is delicious.
Delicious.
That match was amazing because the tempo felt like the Thunderdome. It was beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. They were on fire. You know, they usually are, but I mean, it was definitely special that night, man. I mean, the believers just, you know, erupted, you know, the Lucha clique, you know, in full attack. Just, I mean, man, what, you know, amount of energy that they brought that night, man, and just made the match so fun to be in and you know, to perform in. It was awesome. It was incredible.
Made for great television also, and hopefully soon we'll be making great Netflix history as well on the 15th.
Right.
And
yeah, I was stoked because I didn't get to be at the first Believers Backlash. I mean, Casey was in the first Believers Backlash, and him and Hernandez, I think, still got beef. I'll let you take that up with your friend at some other time, Casey. I'm gonna get him on here too, and just to mess with you.
Oh, that would be awesome. I love that guy. I totally didn't hit him. It was some other guy that looked like me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's kind of hard for anyone other than Hot Dog Guy to have heat from that match.
From the first one?
I think we should watch the footage back and you know, freeze frame format just to double check, just to make sure it wasn't you.
This just sounds like a conspiracy theory now. Like we're watching JFK's assassination, but it's me with a belt, or a guy. I'm sorry, a guy that looks like me with a belt.
No, I like this plan. Belt and to the left. Belt and to the left.
Oh,
It might just have been you, but dude, I don't know.
but
We'll
it's
see.
part of what makes it so much fun to be at the Temple live for the show. I remember I was in, I think, New York or Florida, and I got the call or text saying that there was a Believers Backlash match, and I was so bummed. I was so bummed that I missed out. And watching on TV, it was just, it looked like so much fun. I got to see all the fun stuff. I mean, I wish Casey would have looked out for you a little bit more.
Hey, it's not my
That would have been cool.
Rita told me he would kill my family if I didn't give him the pads. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I don't know what he's.
But
Well,
here's the problem. Here's the problem. We all found out ahead of time. It was like, hey, believers, bring your weapons down, grab your Singapore canes, get your lunch boxes, whatever, you know. But they didn't tell us who was going to be in the match. They didn't tell us who we were beating up on. I felt bad when I found out it was B because I knew it was like, they're not going to have us beat up the little guy. Like they are really stacking the deck against B here. And
I was so happy because I thought I was gonna get to hit a little person with weapons.
You could have.
I'm not allowed to.
No, but they did change up the rules a little bit too. That the rules were we were giving the weapons to the performers, to the talent for them to use, as opposed to letting Casey haul off and hit some grown ass man with a belt this time.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, because apparently Lucha Gringo always tries to get his shit in during these Believers Backlash matches.
Clearly.
So yeah. So let's just, for my sake at least, I should be very grateful to the writers that they changed the rules on this one, because I would have been another Hernandez story.
It's better. It's better than me
waiting to happen.
What advice would you
harder than me? So it's good to change the rules.
Casey first. You guys talking at the same time. Casey, go.
If you change the rules, it's better because Famous B can hit Masquerita way harder than I can.
Truth. Truth. He's on the insurance. You're not. What were you saying, Byron?
I wanted to know, now that we've covered both Believers Backlash matches, what advice would you give to the participants of the next one if there were to be a third one?
So what advice would you give?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Knowing the type of hooligans that make up the fans in the temple that are going to be holding all the weapons.
Well, I mean, me personally, I mean, the advice I would give is just to have, a stash of your own that, that you bring to the match, because as you guys saw me personally, already had that in mind. I had my toolbox, in a perfect place specifically for me, where only I knew. And I didn't have to rely on getting these fans getting these weapons from the fans, I had a stash, and out of that stash, you saw me pull out Arrogance, which backfired, unfortunately. But, my advice is to have your own game plan and not rely on the believers or the fans in the temple, because hey, the name of the game is to win it. And, you want to be sure, you want to be confident, because you might have, fans out there like Lucha Gringo who's only in it for himself, and you can't count on him or rely on him to do the right thing and assist you in assisting an ass whooping on your opponent, if I may say that. So
I'm sorry.
So you got to take matters into your own hands. That's my advice for the next participants in the next Believers Backlash match.
I gotta say though, the Arrogance was extra brutal because I was there for the aftermath of the original Arrogance attack, and I had to see two guys fight in blindfolds for what felt like 45 minutes. It was a little rough.
Byron, what did you get for your birthday? I want to know.
My birthday?
Not to go back to a sore subject, but I need to broach this for a second, y'all.
Well, I showed up at work, and they gave me a bunch of little...
It doesn't matter what you got for your birthday. Look what I got. Whoo!
Oh, the talking ones!
Let me see. Can I get him to talk? Yeah, that's right. Know your role and shut your mouth, Byron. That's what I got.
Press the other one, you mealy mouth bastard.
Sorry,
I see
Byron.
some
What
new
were you saying?
additions.
Byron's gonna cry
New
now.
additions to the. I see some new additions to the show going forward.
Yeah, like Byron might quit.
Stone Cold shows up.
My coworkers, because they know I'm a huge wrestling fan, got me a kids replica championship belt. They went to Walmart and got one. And
Who got that, Wes or Rob?
But no, they
Rob didn't get you shit, did he?
He got me stuff for Christmas. He got me a blow up sex doll, but we don't know that. My coworkers, I don't know if they like me or don't like me. They got me a WWE Tag Team Championship belt.
So which member of the cast there is your tag team partner?
Well, that's.
Well, he might be doing a Freebirds gimmick though. He could have more than one case.
You know what? If they do,
is that officially called a New Day gimmick now?
Clapping at ringside because everyone else is way more famous than he is. Boom.
But, anyways, my birthday, I had people who loved me tell me how much they appreciate me. So that's where we differ, Justin.
I told you the exact opposite, Byron.
Storm Chaser fans that just want to see you get swept away in a tornado do not count as people who love you. Those are people who want to see you ride a cow into a twister. They do not count.
If you haven't seen the numerous times that Byron has said that he used to be on Storm Chasers on the show, he used to be on Storm Chasers. He's been in 10 tornadoes, no bullshit.
I'm getting my Vinny Massaro on.
Oh, you're eating a taco.
That's right.
And I gotta say, Famous B, as big as that pop was, sustained throughout the whole Believers Backlash, it is nothing compared to the pop that happened when you unveiled your great protege, Dr. Wagner. I think
that was cool.
Absolutely, man. That was one of the moments in Lucha Underground history that you can definitely point back to and say, like, wow, because in terms of debuting characters, that was one of those moments where it was like, wow, holy crap. Next to, maybe like a moment like ADR, maybe Ray's appearance in Aztec Warfare, even Matanza, when Matanza came out in that same match, that was definitely right up there, top 2, 3, 4, maybe something like that. But
it was Wagner
was
a bigger surprise than we knew Ray was coming eventually.
Right.
We knew the Matanza character had been building for a while, but Wagner nobody knew. And then everybody was like, after he showed up, like, is he limo guy? Is he this? Like the hype kept going too.
Yeah.
And I am a Wagner maniaco. Even like I definitely enjoy seeing people get the Wagner driver, especially little
Bien.
That's right.
Especially me too.
And
me
plus
too.
we got to see an even better debut, Famous B. We got to see your dope airbrush Dr. Wagner jacket.
Yes.
Like what?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, how fly do I look? How fly do I look right there, standing in the temple, and even that night, the first night of Ultima Lucha Dos, just turning around and just bam, just debuting it just like that. I mean, hey, it was definitely an upgrade from my last suit. So I will say that, it was definitely a better jacket, a better mask on the back of it, and it looked just way better. It looks totally awesome. But yeah, shout out to Tony Zarco, who makes the who airbrushed my jackets. Shout out to him, man. He does fantastic work. Yeah, he's an incredible artist. So shout out to him. What's up?
That's
pretty amazing. We all looked at each other and we said, Jimmy Hart, who? That's what we all said. His
Never heard of him.
Just garbage in comparison.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say real quick, man. It's just so fun to live in a world. Well, I guess you could say perform in a world as a talent who kind of, the writers understand the nuances of what it used to be like back in the days, and like the excitement that I got myself, as a kid, just watching the product and the business at that time, and how it was just so fun, and you know how the characters were just so over the top, and you know the fact that Lucha Underground is a world that we all live in and perform in as talent, to be able to kind of recreate these things, but yet put your own spin on it. It's absolutely phenomenal, you know, because you can go back and you can take my character and you can obviously match it up to, like, I hear Slick a lot, I hear Jimmy Hart a lot, but at the same time, me being able to take like facets of those characters and then add my own flavor to it and my own spin is the fun part, because in all honesty, when I go out there, I'm not thinking of these individuals per se. In terms of my act, everything that I do is organic, you know what I mean? And it just works and it flows so well, and it's awesome and it's fun to do.
Okay, so, but now I gotta ask you this though, because this leads directly to it. I'll let you get in there in a sec, Case. Doing kind of the heel manager thing on this level, where it's your job to get everybody just as mad as you possibly can for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, but then at the end of it, somebody is going to try to take it to you eventually. Like I have a friend who did a heel manager thing on the indies, and just a little shithead, like just snotty, get everybody mad, like wouldn't care how to get people mad, and would leave town and come back 2 or 3 months later. People just still want to see him get his ass kicked. Like, yeah. That is the downside of this endeavor, right? Is that like eventually your blow off is going to typically involve you getting whooped upon.
Nah.
Well, it could be, but then again, you know, you got to look at it, you know, before this character, you know, been a professional wrestler for, you know, the last 8 years. So, you know, getting down in the ring and hanging and banging is, you know, is my strong suit as well. So, I think a lot of people forget that about me, is that, you know, I get in that ring, man, I'm ready to go at any given time, you know what I mean? And, hey, it's like, hey, I could throw them things too, you know, but, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like a lot of people forget that. So it's like, man, hey, I'm ready for any and everything that may come my way. You know, that's all a part of being a professional, and just, you know, having a passion for what you do. You know, it's like, you know, whether, you know, you're playing a good guy role or a bad guy role, or, you know, whether you're managing or whether you're in a ring, working, you know, it's all good to me, man, you know, because I'm very well rounded in the business.
Okay, so then I got to ask you this too. You're coming to the ring with talent as a manager, even though you can wrestle, right, and do still wrestle. But correct, you have a valet. How over how awesome do you have to be? Like, who did you pay to be a manager who's already coming out to the ring with performers, and you get your own damn valet? How the hell did you pull that off? Please tell me something. Man, I need to know.
The first time ever that a manager has a manager, right?
Yeah. Like, that's some next level pimp shit right there. That's all I can say.
Well, hey, what can I say? No, but in all honesty, I mean, it was just one of those things where you know, once again, organic, you know, just me and Holly, we have a fantastic chemistry together. And it was just like one of those things where it was just like, you know, one thing led to another, you know, starting off with the commercials and just how all the commercials came out, and just, you know, just coming out with an approach in Masquerade Sagrada and bringing him out to the ring and just seeing how everything looked. And it was just sweet. And like I said, you know, when we did the angle where I turned on Masquerita and how everything just happened organically when I'm just hitting them with my shoe. And the last shot, I swung so hard that the shoe actually hit the mat, bounced up in the air, flew out the ring. And she's standing in the corner, you know, because she's been just phenomenal at selling. And, you know, and I just looked at her and I was like, go get my shoe.
That "get my shoe" is our favorite line.
Yeah, all time.
And we got to tell you, man, when we were going to the tapings, we were talking to Eric, and he said, "Man, you got to see what they're doing with Famous B. It is like the best." We had to wait so long to see it, and it was just like, oh man, it worked out great. But I have to ask you, as a great wrestler, as a great manager, who were your guys coming up that you looked up to, like wrestler wise and manager wise?
Oh man, well, it's a host of it's a long list, man. I loved everybody. I was so wrapped up into wrestling as a youngster, as a kid. And I had obviously a great deal of respect for any and everybody who's ever laced up their boots and stepped in that ring, or been an on-air talent. And it's a long list, but to make a long story short, man, like when I was like 5 or less, obviously it was your Hulk Hogan, your Ultimate Warriors, the superheroes. And then getting a little bit older than that, when I started to actually notice the in-ring work, it became like your Bret Harts, your Shawn Michaels, your Mr. Perfects. And then a transition to early teens of the cruiserweights, your Eddies, Rays, Dean Malenkos, and so forth. So those are my inspirations. And then on the managerial side, real young and real early, I always loved Miss Elizabeth. I mean, I thought she was fantastic in her role. Huge Sapphire fan as well. And then of course Bobby the Brain Heenan was the best, and I think he is still the best and probably the greatest manager of all time.
I think there's no contest. Like, some people say Cornette is a contest, but he doesn't like Lucha Underground, so fuck him.
Comes down to Cornette.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah.
You guys are harsh.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, in all of your experiences in the ring, what is it like to super kick someone who's 4 foot tall? How good does it feel?
How what does it feel?
How good does it feel?
Oh man, it feels fantastic. See, I didn't want to brag about this, but since you put me on the spot, and there really is no way around it, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna be honest. It feels fucking awesome, man. It feels fucking awesome. Where you can just kick his head off. You don't even have to raise your foot that high. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. But no, man, in all seriousness, he's actually absolute joy to work with, man. And, people ask me about it like before, and a lot of people say, well, is it more difficult to work with somebody, in smaller stature than, yourself or anybody else, for that matter? And it's not. It's absolutely the same, man. And, it's a lot of fun.
Just so you guys know, the people who are listening to this, by the way, that we did try to get Holly to come on today too, and she just couldn't do it because it was on kind of short notice. She's out saving a cat or something. But shout outs to the girl Holly. I was a fan of hers back in the
damn Brenda. Not to cut you off,
the Big Brother days. And it's funny because when she first came to Lucha Underground, I didn't realize it was her, and then it clicked at some point. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Holly from Big Brother."
Yeah, it was the same way. I didn't notice until like later, and I'm like, "Wait a second, okay, that's
like, I know you, Eddie." No, but it's cool. I was stoked, and I still don't know exactly how you pulled that one off. But I want to talk about the evolution of the Famous B character, because where it's at right now, and you trying to pick up new talent, and you having Brenda and the whole thing is not exactly where it started. I mean, how did this whole thing evolve? Like, was this DJ's master plan from the start, or was this something where it's like, oh shit, I like this dude, I know we've heard Roach say that every character has a full story and has a purpose, but where did that purpose evolve from that you know of? Did we lose B? Did he freeze?
I think we froze.
He might have got froze.
Masquerita hacked into his feed. Crawled into the inner tubes.
Masquerita is salty.
Let
me see if I send him another one if he'll.
I like that, to know that it feels good to kick Masquerita in the head. That was a good question, Byron.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been wondering what it's like to kick someone. Well, the thing is, if you're not a trained athlete and like you see the super kicks on TV, it's a lot of fun. But like if you're gonna super kick like a sibling or something, when you're watching the shows getting hyped up, you're never gonna be able to reach someone's chin to give sweet chin music. But let's say that you're gonna just backyard wrestle someone who's 4 feet tall, I could super kick the hell out of 4 feet tall people.
Hey, Byron, that's where you just aren't the 6'4" monster known as Casey. I can just big boot. I don't need the super kick. You just do the big.
The big boot. Come on.
People run into it every time. Like, look at Hogan matches. Like, they just walk right into it.
It's weird that as a kid you think the big boot hurts a lot, and then you watch stuff and you just see how people are hypnotized by the orange.
Hey, you know what,
Orange.
Byron? Ask Vitor Belfort how the big boot feels. Basically,
You know what I'm gonna do?
From Anderson.
We need to ask. I'm gonna go to the live chat for questions, and basically.
Well, hey, before you do that, while we got a second anyway, because B's trying to reconnect.
Yeah.
What's up with Mass Republic, man? Like, you guys got some info? Because I think it's supporting those dudes is a good thing, and I hear you have some interesting info on that.
I heard that if you really want to support our friend Pentagon, which I don't want to say while B's here because there's a little arm breaking incident that we don't need to talk about.
Well, no, we're going to talk about that when he comes back. Wait, I shouldn't say that. He might be listening. He might not come back.
Okay, so if you want to buy some dope ass lucha shit, we are your hookups because we got you a special magic code. Tell them, Byron.
The code. I was
Byron,
actually
you already fucked it up. We're doing the Road
Dude, I was
Warriors.
watching your speech. I was ready to.
Byron. Let's do it again, like the Road Warriors. Do you remember the Road Warriors? Tell them, Byron.
I'm unfamiliar. Oh, what a rush!
No, you got to go well, and then do it.
Wow. Sorry,
Byron, I lost my voice yesterday. The whole reason we decided to have you do the gimmick was because I can't. My throat, bro. You're messing this all up. Come on.
Okay, I'll start it over again. We stack on danger, dine on death, and we have a special code for you on Mass Republic. Tell them, Byron.
No, see, if I knew we were doing the Road Warriors, I would have shaved my head.
The worst.
Anyways, we got a code from Mass Republic to get you guys discounted as MMM show. That's spelled MMM show. And basically you use it at Lucha Shop. It's the only place you're going to find and have easy access to official and officially licensed merchandise of the Lucha Stars that you're seeing getting pillaged by unnamed companies.
Also, this is good for 10% off, which Byron didn't tell you. It does not work for pro style wrestling masks, but it works for dope shirts like all those new Rebellion shirts, all the Pentagon shirts, all that stuff.
So you got Penta 0M, the new the indie persona of Pentagon Dark from Lucha Underground. You got Ray Phoenix, who sold his mask, his new Ray Phoenix mask and gear. You got Conan, you got Rey Mysterio, you got Solar, you got so many people. They had like Dragon Lee masks. I don't know if they have any. You should check it out. But they have, if you're going to buy a mask, it's hard to buy merch from these luchadors. You have to go to a show. And if you don't have the luxury of going to the shows, Mask Republic Lucha Shop is your hookup.
Yeah, no, and me and Byron have both ordered numerous things from them in the past.
Yeah. I just bought, I'm very excited. By the way, just the really big point. Did you buy the book? Hold on. The real big point here is that if you buy a Luchador's shirt or what have you from Lucha Shop Mass Republic, you're buying it direct from the wrestler, which is a really
money in their pocket.
Really big deal. But I just bought this new book, which hopefully I'll have on the air soon to show you guys. It is a book about the masks, about the top mask makers in Mexico and Japan. It's really awesome. It's just, I can't wait to get it. You can see up there, I have a mask. I have a ton of Lucha masks. I'm a mask mark. I can't wait to read it. And when I get it, I'll probably love it, and I'll tell you guys all to buy it. So
yeah, it looks great. It's I've seen similar books from Japan, and having one that you could actually read would be pretty nice.
The thing about this is that Mass Republic is actually the only way you can buy it in the States. The book is imported from Japan. It's another way that Mass Republic is bringing all these great things to us, making them easy.
And that's the overall point here, is that what they're doing is really just trying to support workers in whatever fashion. Like, you know us, we have our opinions about everything, but at the end of the day, it's not, those opinions don't matter in so much as the guys that we enjoy seeing work, you know, being able to put food on their tables and to keep entertaining us. And that's one of the reasons why we like these dudes and why we wanted to partner up with them on something. Just because we know for a fact that they're helping out talent, period. And that's the end of the story. And, you know, we're glad to support anybody that's doing that. Just like, you know, you've heard us plug in Brave and Mortal Kombat. You've heard us talking about FSW and people that we know are taking care of talent. And that's what we like to see. So it's worth it. Please support, you know, go check out what they have on luchashop.com. Use our code MMM show so that they know that we told you. And that's the only way they're going to know, is if you put in the code from us, that you heard it here, and that you know that we're supporting and you're supporting and they're supporting. And that's what it's all about, y'all. Getting it done right.
Yeah, and they're good dudes, and we're all about helping people we think are good dudes. And yeah, I bought a dope Perros Del Mal soccer jersey from them. I've never worn it on the show, I don't think. Oh no, maybe I did wear it on the show once. But
is that where you got that from?
Yeah, I got it from Mass Republic, and it was pretty cool because it came direct from Mexico. And yeah, it was awesome, man.
Here's the thing. Let's say you're a Pentagon Junior fan or Pentagon Dark, and you watch Lucha Underground, and you're like, I'm a huge fan of his, and I even go to the tapings. So I'm at the Lucha Underground shows, and I would like to have a shirt that lets people know how much I love Pentagon Junior, Pentagon Dark. Guess what? You're not going to find it unless you go to a show where he's actually able to sell them to you, like in the parking lot or at the ring at intermission. Like, so many people have a question, how do I get a Pentagon Junior shirt? And how you get it is you go to Mass Republic. They have the Cerro Miedo shirts. They sold us masks for a while. They just sold the Pentagon, the Penta L0M masks, the new ones.
Yeah, I think there's still a few left, actually.
And Ray has an exclusive deal with them, right?
He has some sweet stuff up there.
He does. His Roots of Fight style shirts are really fucking dope.
How did B get all sideways?
Oh, are we the ones that? I think we're sideways.
I think we're sideways, Justin.
All right. B, can you hear us? Uh-oh. that might have been another technical difficulty. I don't know.
Oh man. But yeah, so yeah, Mass Republic, what's up? Love you guys.
Also, another thing that they do that we want to promote is,
I'm gonna explain Lucha Crate in a minute, so they get a second drop in the show, Byron.
It's called Lucha Loot.
Lucha Loot. Damn, man, you got me messing up. Lucha Loot is dope setup though. Like, I was reading about it. Kleinrock sent over some information on it that I'll straight up read to you guys in a little bit, because it's really dope, and I didn't know that there was different levels.
Yeah,
which is
you
pretty
get
awesome.
cooler shit if you do more. You get more deluxe. Kind of cool.
Yeah, sorry, I left B's sideways camera on there for a second, so it wasn't switching video. B is trying to get back in. Is he there? Are you there, B?
Well, crud.
He is trying, but something is keeping him from being able to connect for some reason.
That damn Masquerita Sagrada is eating bagel bites and fucking up the internet.
You wish.
Oh, I wish I had bagel bites right now.
I wish we had promotional consideration paid for by Bagel Bites.
We gotta
by Tacos, by Vinny Massaro's Tacos.
We could even get Meatloaf to use his Lord Alfred Hayes voice that he automatically has to say promotional consideration paid for by the following: Bart's Nightmare for the Sega Genesis. Yeah, you fuckers remember that. What's up? Wrestling Challenge Superstars.
Hey, what's up with Fire Pro? Speaking of wrestling stuff.
Oh, Byron, how excited are you, bro?
I'm old. I need to know before we talk about anything. What's up with the early whatever thing that you're telling me?
Well, okay, I'll tell you as we get to it. Fire Pro World is coming out. I don't have a release date for the actual game itself, but it's coming out for PS4 and Steam because the news was kind of trickling out as we're doing this podcast right now. But Steam Early Access, Q2 of 2016. Q2 of 2016 starts fucking next month. So it could be that early, it could be a little later, but it's gonna be on Steam, dude. We can fucking download people's created wrestlers on Steam. But for those of you that don't feel comfortable using your PC for such things and would rather use the PS4, which has also been announced for, I do have to tell you guys, if you're not as familiar with importing games as me and Byron, who have been doing it since we were in fucking high school, you don't have to modify the PlayStation 4 in order to play imported games. All of the region locking is on the disc level itself, and fucking Spike is not going to do that, I don't think. Someone's going to have to take the bullet and try it the first time, but chances are we'll be able to ask them, and they'll say, no, we're not going to do it. And this is important for a lot of reasons, because it's been a long-ass time since there's been a new Fire Pro game. And it is the best playing wrestling game out there. If you're unfamiliar with the series, look up a couple YouTube videos on Fire Pro Returns. You'll see the kind of shit it's capable of.
And the cool thing about Fire Pro is that they have everyone and everything, and whoever they don't have, you can easily make in the game.
What concerns me is I think we're going to have to make a lot more people because they only showed very generic wrestlers in the promo video, but maybe that's just the thing, because usually what they do is they put in roughly 200 wrestlers, mostly from they used to put in WWE guys with fake names too, but they stopped doing that. But wrestlers all around the world, heavy on Japan, and with Japan having a bit of a renaissance in the quality of the pro wrestling there, the timing on this could not be better. And I'm hoping that since a lot of lucha dudes have been working in Japan, we're going to see more luchadors in the game, because that's always been something that has been a little bit lacking. Usually we've had like a handful of luchadors, so you would have, as official wrestlers, you can make pretty much any fucking wrestler you want. But you would you'd usually have Mil Mascaras and Dos Caras Sr. as legends. The last one had Alberto as Dos Caras Jr., complete with shoot fighting gear, so you could have Crow Cop, who was also in the game, kick the shit out of him.
That's just wrong.
Dr. Wagner Jr. has always been there due to his time.
Bien.
Very, very bien. And a lot of Japanese style lucha dudes, like, you know, your Ultimo Dragons and your
Ultimo Dragon
and all that. And dude, I mean, it's everyone's in this freaking game. If not, you can make them. It's been my favorite wrestling game since the Sega Saturn days, and if it hasn't changed in this long of a time, since fucking what, like almost 20 years ago now. I think it came out 20 years ago, because it came out like 97, right?
Yeah, we were in high school still. I remember I probably still have somewhere in a box in my parents' garage my binder where I kept all my printouts of all the creative wrestlers, where I print out, you have like all your moves, right, which are a lot. Then you have all your attributes, which are a lot, like everything. And then the psychology.
Yeah.
The wrestler. Amazing. So like I made a blue meanie, and I'm like, whenever a wrestler has low health, you're always going to go for the moonsault. So when you do a Royal Rumble or Battle Royal and it gets to the end of it, all you see is like the blue meanie guy running around moonsaulting people.
You know what
awesome.
My favorite part was the assigning sound clips to moves and the wildly inappropriate sound clips that it would often put in the game. Like for the Sega Saturn version, Terry Funk, when he do his Texas Bronco punches, he'd do his jabs, and when he goes for the big left, he'd yell, "You son of a bitch," and he'd hit you. And then for the next version, which was Fire Pro G for the PlayStation 1, ECW was a thing. So they had a bunch of ECW sound bites, which were a bunch of voices going EC fucking W, and They didn't censor it because it's the fucking Wild West, man. And now there's less swearing in the game. There's still some Japanese swearing, but there's less English swearing for some reason. But they've been having a little more issues with copyrights, and copyright laws are a little more strict in Japan now. So maybe it's going to be a roster full of generic wrestlers. But last time they let you recostume default wrestlers in the game anyway. Yeah. So if they change how everyone looks, you can change them back. You can just make edits yourself. And also, if it's on Steam, chances are we're going to be able to download other people's wrestlers anyway. So that would be perfect.
I think B is back.
All right.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. I'm back. I look so crazy here, but I'm back. I'm back.
No worries. We were talking about that Fire program that we were chatting about earlier, right before we went on.
Right. Starman. My man, Starman.
We got to say, for years, they've put a fake Dr. Wagner Jr. in the game. He's been in there.
Yes, right. Hey, he's a legend.
He is.
He's a legend. He's a legend, man.
All right,
so this is what his fake name is, but
right before we almost lost you, or right before we lost you there, I was asking about basically the evolution of Famous B, like how you basically had started in one place and you end up in this other place where you're, managing the top guys and this, that. Was that always the plan? Did you see that coming?
No, it was actually it became a plan actually towards the latter end of season 1. I was in line to play a character which actually they never used for the show. So in the meantime of getting, everything down in terms of, just pulling the trigger on the character that they hired me to play, they were just like, well, let's just use a Famous B pretty much as, my independent character as enhancement talent, so to speak, to, pretty much get in there and, work with the guys that they had already established on the show, such as Pentagon with the arm break angle, was one of the first guys to do that one, and one of the first guys to go one-on-one with Mil Muertes and things like that. So it was pretty much one of those things where independently I was working as Famous B, my independent character, in the meantime of pretty much getting together the character that they actually wanted me to portray. And I guess towards the latter end of season 1, they pretty much realized or phased this character out. And pretty much then Chris DeJoseph had the idea of transitioning Famous B, who was already on the show, into the character that we see now.
Well, that's dope. That's more than a lot of people are, getting to a certain extent, because a lot of people have to work in mass and work other gimmicks, and, you get to actually do your thing.
Absolutely. I love it. It's fantastic.
I think the character we didn't see who it was. Well,
I'm Casey. I know, rack your head through that list of trademarked characters that I know you know the weird names to. Throw them out there, and I bet you can figure out which one B was supposed to be.
Well, if it's a certain animal that is connected to a certain holiday, I think it's coming up soon, or maybe it's in April. I don't know. It's one of the two.
You're kind of close.
Valentine's Day Bull? Is that what it is? The Valentine's Day Bull?
Oh, yeah. He was going to be the bull that's on the desk, and it would be like a
El Toro B? Was that the name? El Toro B? I think I remember that on the trademark list. Was that one of DJ's grand?
No. I know that DJ is a huge Mantar fan, so, who isn't, though, really?
Okay, so... But basically, the moral of the story is you had to have impressed somebody for them to be like, no, let's keep him around and roll with his indie gimmick and work that into Lucha Underground. That speaks volumes to you as a wrestler, I think.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. And I would definitely like to think so. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, it's like, okay, just, ready to, branch out and do my thing. And it was like, when they told me that they pretty much wanted to take Famous B and go into this role that you see me in now, I was all for it. You know what I mean? Because prior to that, I was just thinking, about, being a competitor, an in-ring competitor that the fans see as a serious in-ring competitor on the show. But when they pitched this idea to me and I got to thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that would be super cool because it'll be one of those things where it's like now I can show a different side of Famous B that a lot of the fans haven't seen in me before. You know what I mean? It was an opportunity to go out there, grab the mic and get on a stick and talk and present myself in a way that I knew that I could. And this was the opportunity to do it. And they gave me an inch and I ran a mile with it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and a lot of things came out organically from my character, even the emergence of beautiful Brenda that you see on the show, and even, you know, myself and the combination of us two together. You know, a lot of things happened organically. You know, they had obviously the, you know, the format or the gist of what they wanted us to do. But as we were doing it, it was like, get my shoe and this and that and all the little we can't talk about beautiful Brenda without talking about all the little phrases and nuances she throw out there each and every time. It's one of those things where it's just like it came together and it gelled for the better. And just like a lot of other characters and things in Lucha Underground just kind of organically happened. And I think it was definitely for the benefit of the show and for the fans.
Okay, so you gotta let us in on the inside scoop with beautiful Brenda character.
Right.
Where is it comedic genius and where is it real? What is the line? Because I have never known. I have never known. And like I said, I'm a Big Brother fan, so I saw her on that show too. And you would see her in an interview and she would be like, you know, they're all gonna think I'm this and this. And then she would go out there and be that. But then it was like, is it a put on? Is this just comedic genius? Is she just getting over on everybody and they don't know it? Like, where's the line at?
Well, I will say that a lot of what you see is actually her. I mean, you know, that's the reason why I think our characters have emerged the way that is emerged, because when you see me out there, you're seeing me out there. When you see her out there, you're seeing her out there. We're just working within the, you know, the script, you know what I mean? And what we're out there to do. But we're actually portraying ourselves just, you know, within the script and, you know, taking it to the next level. You know, it's one of those things where it's us amped up by 10. But with her, it's very close to her real life persona, I guess you could say.
All right, so here's one of the moments where I knew Lucha Underground was something different than the wrestling we had been seeing on TV everywhere else. I called the number. And I don't know how many people had called the number yet, but like the first time I saw the number, I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be real. I'm gonna get somebody.
I called it before the voicemail was set up.
So you got nothing. I called and I got the voicemail and I was like, oh my God, that is brilliant. That is the most genius shit ever. And then I left a message too, because I was like, I guarantee DJ or somebody is probably sitting around listening to these. Maybe B is even listening to it. Like, I don't even know. They might be just sitting in a room somewhere laughing. What's that, Byron?
Who had the phone that was getting the phone calls?
Oh, that was a service, man. Anybody could call up and get that.
Oh, it's a real thing. Did they give you the phone? Were you listening?
I know that.
Do you mean this number?
Yes.
423. 423.
I get
fame.
I called very early on trying to offer my services as a protege because I said, I know why you destroyed Masquerita, and I am a 6'4" monster of a man, and I would love to just get my hands on him before famous and become famous.
You're a sick, twisted man, Casey. You got issues.
Apparently, that's what people tell me because I keep saying that I like K Monito getting beat up in CMLL on Twitter, and then all the Lucha Gift people get mad at me.
Well, I will say that there was a lot of very different messages and different people from children to, obviously men, women, it was one of those things where it was just like, it is a phenomenon. That
hold on. Back up. You said women?
Of course, everybody calls me. Well, did you
dirty messages and stuff?
What's up? Hey, Justin. Hey.
I'm just wondering.
Hey. No, but I mean, this is a phenomenon. Everybody calls me. 423 get fame is the truth.
Now look,
It's the
if
real
this ever
deal.
comes out, like if they release DVDs, they need to put some of the calls. They need to put some of those messages out on the DVD so we can hear them.
That would be cool. That would be pretty sweet.
That would be
awesome.
hilarious. I guarantee.
That would be awesome. It's so many different. It's just so many different. Just different random. Just I mean, talk about random of the random. You know what I mean? It's
legally
crazy.
they probably couldn't put it out because there's not like a waiver in the message.
There you go.
But still,
There you go.
Maybe we'll just have to all sit around one day at the temple and just listen to some of these messages because I want to hear some of this junk. Because people are crazy, and that's why I had to call because I was like, "There's no way they actually put this number live and are taking messages or have somebody answering this phone." So then I call it up and I'm like, I didn't even know what to say when it got to the beep. I was just like, "Oh my God, I cannot even imagine what is happening on this answering service."
Hey, you guys remember Ernest the Cat Miller in WCW with the cat?
Somebody call my mama.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had a thing, like he had a commercial for Catbo, his version of Tybo, and they gave a number that you could call, but it was a voicemail over to CNN Center. So people figured that out and then figured out how to go to other voicemail boxes from the voicemail. So from that commercial, people started calling Eric Bischoff and leaving him all kinds of messages to figure out how to get into his voicemail.
Yeah, but he deserved that. I'm pretty sure he deserved all of that. And just so you guys know, if you didn't get in on the MMM show hoodie, they're gone. That's it.
No.
Yeah, it's done. It's over. I was gonna plug it at the beginning of the show, but yeah, we've been doing some merch through Teespring, but it's just limited time only. You got merch anywhere, B?
I will soon. I just got a Pro Wrestling Tees account, so you'll see some famous BTs popping up within probably as early as a week or two.
Man, you got to do a Get My Shoe shirt. You got to. I don't know what the legalities of all that stuff is, but it's like, I don't care if you got to sign away 80% of the profits because 20% of $1 billion is worth it, my friend.
Yes, it is.
I will buy a Get My Shoe shirt. In fact, somewhere on the indies, I want to set up a match with you and Daniel Cormier where you guys both come dressed to the nines and just beat each other down with shoes. Like, I think
oh man, hey, if the price is right, I'm in.
I'm sure if DC is going to be there, the price will be plenty. But that would be hilarious. I can't even tell you how hard I popped to Get My Shoe. That's just the best thing ever. All right, so let's take it way back. We've kind of done this whole thing in reverse order almost.
Right.
What's the foundation of you getting into wrestling? You know, for people who've seen you on Lucha Underground, like as he said, is also a great in-ring talent. Like, where were you trained? How did you get started doing this? What the hell made you wake up one day and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a pro wrestler?
Right. Well, it was actually a pretty interesting story. What made me think about it, or what sparked my interest and where I got the idea is actually getting a flyer from the school that I eventually attended, the Wrestling Academy out here in Los Angeles, which is the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy. That's pretty much where I started, and I got this flyer and I sat around, I had the flyer just sitting around, just looking at it from time to time and passing, throughout the house, and I would pick it up and look at it and it'll be laying on the coffee table. And then I would look at it and think about it and then take it to the room and, it just passed around the house until I finally decided, hey, let me call and check it out and see what it's all about, So, I went to my orientation and, it was just one of those things where it was instant. As soon as I stepped foot and at the school, I just loved it, from day one. I made a promise to myself that, I was in 100%. And it was one of those things where it was like, I was going to do this for real and I was going to do it and go hard and be the best at it and never look back. And, that's one of the things that I, have done, you know what I mean? And then, this was in like March of 2008 is when I first started to train. And then I had my debut match January 19th, 2009. And, I just kept it going and,
that's a pretty decent turnaround time. I mean, and for people who don't know, it's like the first time you're paying somebody at a wrestling school to be there,
right? And
you're running the ropes and your shit is just all red and sore and hurt. And
Absolutely.
You got chop marks on your chest and little things welting up that you've never seen before in your life. And you're paying somebody money to do this at the time, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. It's an academy. It's a school.
Right. So if you're doing that and you're like, I love it, then yeah, you're probably in the right place. If you're, you're like, oh, I don't know about, then you might need to get to stepping. But it's funny hearing those stories too, because I just find it, there's a certain kind of person that gets in there, takes that first chop or does that first 20 minutes running the ropes or that first back bump where they don't cradle their head right. And it's like, no, I love this. Let's keep going.
Yeah, no, and I've seen it. I can't tell you guys how many countless amount of people I've seen come in and out, drop out, and just, I mean, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. There's only a very rare few that, just walk into it and just, have the passion for it, love what they do, and do it full force and wholeheartedly, and actually graduate and go on to become successful. The turnaround, their percentages are very low in terms of the amount of people who actually try it out, thinking whatever they think that it is, but 2 weeks later, 1 week later, that same day, a month later, they're already out the door.
Well, so now, and what's the road like as you're getting into it? I mean, you said your first match is in 2009. That's quite a bit ago, but at the same time, you don't come out your first day and turn into, Hulk Hogan or something. So
not at all.
I mean, are you're still working a shoot job, trying to wrestle on the weekends? Like,
how
was it for you the first few years?
Well, for me, it was actually very difficult because, my shoot job prior to getting into wrestling I was actually a restaurant manager. And, like I said, I made the decision that I wanted to become a professional wrestler. I was an assistant manager at the time, and, my training schedules was on the weekends. So there pretty much was no way to be responsible as an assistant manager for a restaurant, which is busiest on weekends, and still train. So I decided to just go ahead and train and just pretty much start professional wrestling cold turkey. But I was actually obviously still trying to find other little gigs here and there just to keep myself afloat and just to even afford, training school. So my entire lifestyle changed. I dedicated everything that I had into training to be a professional wrestler. Just to get to my debut, just to have a match. And then that's another story in itself in terms of, what you're getting paid, what you have to do, traveling to get there, and all the other things that it takes just to actually even be in the business at the entry level. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was juggling different like little jobs here and there, just to kind of like, like go along with what I was doing in terms of just my training and, actually being in the business and now, juggling that between my bookings. But it was one of those things where my entire lifestyle changed and, it was difficult at first, I was struggling, but it was one thing for sure that I told myself is that I'm going to be good at this. And there's nothing that's going to stop me. And I think that was the key, the amount of passion that I had to stick through all the struggles that I now had in my personal life. You know what I mean? Because I had something that I was working towards and that I was not going to take no for an answer.
Well, it seems like that's kind of the way you have to do it to a certain extent. But I can also tell with you that you've put a lot of that into your character, that hustle and that mentality of just getting in there and getting it done. You're taking a very real version of that and amplifying it and putting it into a character form. But, and that being said, who the hell is Famous B going to pick up next? I mean, is the stable of B going to keep growing? I know you're going after Mr. Tejano.
No, it's Tejano.
Brenda seems to be a mighty good help with that so far.
She is. She's a very great asset, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, to have on hand. So, we're a team. We're a team package. And, I've already said that I am launching my full-on talent agency. And Tejano is a thoroughbred. And, that's currently who I have my sights on. And, obviously there's other interests that I have, and at the end of the day, this talent agency of mine will be the biggest hit in the temple for sure, because it's me, it's Famous B. It's what I do. How could it not be?
Do you
I
want to
gotta
see it
pitch
blow
you
into a
something.
full-blown stable? Yeah, go for it. Pitch it.
B, I gotta pitch you something. Once you get Tejano in your grasp, because how can he resist being more famous? Maybe change his name to Sexano, because that's what a lot of the ladies in the temple already call him.
I mean, there's a section in the temple, the Sexano section. It's actually very difficult to walk through. The floor is awfully slippery.
Well, I mean, you know, like I told him, I'm gonna be the man to work on his image. You know what I mean? So, you know, I like, that's a pretty good idea. You know, I would definitely keep that in the back of my mind. But, you know, that's, you know, he's been very reluctant to accept my invitation. But I'm just going to keep plugging away, and then hopefully he sees the light. And if or when he does, then, hey, you know, there's going to be a lot of guys in trouble in the temple, man, because him under the tutelage of me and the beautiful Brenda. I mean, hey, I mean, it's money. It's money.
And you know, there's going to be some girls in trouble too, because I heard last time he was on TV, like 3 girls got pregnant just watching the show.
Look, sign a waiver. You go into the temple. You sign a waiver.
You do sign a waiver. And you can't be upset about the bodily fluids.
They warn you about bodily fluids every time. It gets its own chant. I mean,
but if you're working on his image, I gotta say this. You know, my mother speaks just a little bit of Spanish, and every time Tejano's in the ring, she's like, "What did he just say? What did he just say?"
I love his Spanish because I know all the words he's saying, because he's saying the worst ones. So it's great. It's Spanish that I can understand.
But the beauty of it is, and this is what I hope he'll see, is that connecting with me, he won't have to say too much.
That's true. That's true. And that is the true sign of a good manager that deserves his, what, 10, 15, 25%? What do you get?
No, 85, about 85.
All right. You know, big matches, like I said, 15% of a lot is a lot.
Yeah.
100% of nothing is nothing.
Right. Nothing for nothing leaves nothing.
You got to share. You got
to have something if you want to be with me. Masquerita found that out the hard way.
This sounds like the Don King School of Management, and I like it.
Yes, it is. It is. See, there's somebody like me in the world, that will bring all this back and get the fans out there. You know, you guys all excited about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? You know, I'm definitely someone to look up to, and you know, I'm taking what we once known as, you know, there was a lot of great assets before, and then now it's like, man, like you look around and it's like, hey, you just have me, and you know what? Hey, I'm out here and I'm gonna do it by myself if I have to.
So, people who want to see you lace up the boots, how do we see you lace up the boots? Do you think you get more ring time wrestling in Lucha Underground? You got indie dates? Like, how do we see you wrestle?
Well, you know, as you guys have seen thus far, you know, of season 3 and even a little bit of 2, you know, I get in the ring and I get my hands dirty in Lucha Underground, you know, from time to time. You know, who knows what may happen going forward. You know, for my indie dates, so to speak, I have some stuff coming up with the I was just actually at the last Crash show down in Tijuana. You know, and you know, I walked out there and I challenged for the Crash Cruiserweight Championship. So that's something that you can look forward to in the future. I'm actually you know, in talks to do some things overseas as well in the UK. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I have coming up. So I think this summer is going to be a really big summer for me.
And where can people find your dates as you get them announced? Like at FamousB23 on Twitter? Is that
on Twitter? Yeah, correct. My social sites. I have a fan page as well on Facebook. You know, FamousB23, of course, on Twitter, and just, you know, anywhere you see me out there on social media, I'm always going to be plugging everything Famous B related, Lucha Underground related, Beautiful Brenda related, Dr. Wagner related, of course, and just everything that goes on with me, and just continue to plug away and just give everybody, you know, what's going on with me. You know, so everybody's aware and in the loop of what's happening.
All right, so here's the tough question. Not so hypothetical. You're sitting there. Time is rolling around to start filming season 4.
Right.
And then the phone rings and you're like, yeah, about that season 4, we're gonna push that for a little bit. How much did that suck? Like, where were you at that point? Because, dude, as fans, we were all like, "Oh snap, these boys ain't gonna work for a minute." Like, it was not a good feeling even as a fan. So I know as a performer for the company, you had to be like, "Damn, this is not the phone call I want to be getting right now," or however you found out on social media, whatever. Like, what was going through your head? What was it like for you when you found out that the season was getting pushed a little bit?
Right. Well, I mean, just like the fans enjoy watching the show, myself as a talent enjoy performing on the show. So, anytime you have to wait for the show to roll around, it's obviously one of those things where you rather be there and you rather be in the mix, you rather be, taping or filming or working than not, obviously. So, I'm not going to say that I will sit there like, okay, no problem, with a smile on my face, so to speak. It's one of those things where we all love what we do. Just, as much as the fans like watching, like I just said, we enjoy just as much producing the show. So it was definitely one of those things where we all felt, that burn, so to speak, of like, man, like, okay, well, it's going to last a little bit longer, but when you start to hear all the reasons why and and what the network is actually trying to do, and just understanding that it is TV first and wrestling second, then it's like, you kind of have to reprogram your mind to understand that versus having the mentality of, well, I'm a professional wrestler and, this is, we're not used to breaks as a professional wrestler, because you guys know professional wrestling is 24/7, but, this is a little bit different in the sense of this is a TV show. This is a television show. It's a television series. So you just have to rechannel your thought process and reprogram your mind. And once you can wrap your mind around that and that things are in play for the better, then that's when you that kind of takes over, just the, I guess you could say the anxiety of getting back, because that it's going to be better overall for the future. And, you just look forward to the future and all the things that's going to become of it.
Yeah, and we tried our hardest to explain some of this stuff as much as we can, with the amount of information that we have, because you know how it goes. The flow of information is not always swift or pertinent every time, but there are reasons behind everything, and whether we all know them or not, it's like you got to trust that it's moving the right way. And I even got to rant a little bit on Netflix, just for everybody out there, because I'm already seeing like little chatter here and there about new fans coming to the show and this, that, and the other thing. Here's the thing. If you're a Lucha Click member, and if you're listening to this show, you probably are, or if you're a believer, or if you have an interest or a like of Lucha Underground, you shouldn't be sweating new people coming in, first of all, which Casey so poignantly said on Twitter the other day. Second of all, this is what you really, really need to do. If you care about Lucha Underground, you want this product to come back bigger and better and stronger every time. What you need to do is get all your WWE fans, your TNA friends, your Ring of Honor friends, your New Japan friends, your CMLL friends, your AAA friends, anybody that's watching a wrestling product, you need to pick an episode for them. Hand pick one. Tell them why it's the hype shit. Tell them why it's the coolest thing ever. And then get them to watch that one episode. You don't have to sit them down or anything now. It's going to be on Netflix. They know somebody who's got Netflix, or they can borrow their mama's code or something, whatever. But what you got to do is everybody has a responsibility, if they love this product, to disseminate the information on March 15th that you need to check out this episode. You need to go into Netflix and search it, because they get all these numbers. And the people at Netflix don't necessarily know that having Lucha Underground is a big deal. The people at El Reno and MGM and all the people behind making the show know that it's a big deal and it can help exposure, but the people at Netflix need to know, because that's what's going to keep the ball rolling. When they go to sell season 3, they can get a better number, they can get quicker releases, they can get more money that goes back into the product, that pays more workers. Like, it's a big change. So instead of everybody sweating it and new fans coming in and this was my thing first and blah blah blah, getting all tight about it, share it with people. Share it. Everybody listening to this, please tell somebody on March 15th what your favorite episode of Lucha Underground is, why it's your favorite episode, and tell them to go watch it. You'll have numbers there, description, and then go watch it yourself. Like, even if you've seen it a million times, go back and watch that junk again. You have to. It's crucial to the product. Like the Netflix hype means nothing if all of us don't get everybody else hyped about it. That's my rant. I'm done. I'll get off the high horse now.
Well, that was a fantastic rant, but yeah, you're absolutely right though. I mean, that's the name of the game, man. The name of the game is sharing because, just like you said, it allows the product to flourish. I mean, why wouldn't you want the product to continue successfully? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? It's one of those things. Well, that's how it's done. It's done by sharing. You know what I mean? And you couldn't have said it any better, man. That's absolutely what needs to happen.
It's the ultimate
sharing is caring.
It is. It's like it's the ultimate excuse ender. All your friends who are like, oh, but I don't get El Rey, or oh, it's on up against this other show that I like, and blah blah. Like, no, it's not. Not now.
Right.
You can go to Netflix. You can go to your public library and watch this junk now. What's up? You got no excuse.
Right. And then the cool thing about it is you can binge watch this thing. You don't have to wait from week to week, for all the people out there who haven't seen season 1 or season 2 yet. You know what I mean? It's like, man, like this was awesome. Like, you're watching one episode. You don't have to wait till next Wednesday night to watch the next episode after that. You can, you have the full library right there and you can watch the whole season in a sitting if you wanted to.
Famous B get his arm broke and Vinny Massaro get his arm broke, like all in the same day.
Yeah, and then continue and then proceed to watch my commercials right after you see me get my arm broke. So
that's true.
There you go.
Call the number. Is the hotline still on? I haven't called in a minute.
I'm sure it is. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Call the hotline right now.
Now, tell the truth though. Are you still mad at Pentagon? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, he's left a wake of broken arms all over the place. That can't be your most fun angle that you've ever worked.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it's one of those things where, there's no love lost. And it's one of those things where I haven't forgotten. But at the same time, also realize that there's things that I'm trying to accomplish myself in the temple. And I can't accomplish those things if I'm not focusing on those things 100%. So I can't put any energy into something that's irrelevant to my plans as of right now. But like I said, I have not forgotten. So let's just say that Pentagon needs to continue to do his thing and I'll do mine. Because if we do cross paths, then, hey, there's a doctor that he's going to be needing.
I love it. That's the best
focus, Justin. Some may say Famous B is laser focused, like his tights once said.
That's right. Absolutely.
Casey, your memory is ridiculous sometimes. All right, so who do you like working with the best? Who's your favorite to work with out there? And the second part of that question is, who's your favorite out there in general right now? It could be indies, WWE, wherever. Like, who's your favorite to work with, and who's your favorite just to watch as a performer?
Oh man, that's a very good question. I've had so many good matches with so many different individuals, man. It's hard to narrow it down to just one. I mean, if I had to throw some names out there, I would say Juventud Guerrera. He's awesome to work with. Brian Kendrick is another one who's very good to work with. TJ Perkins, Joey Ryan, of course. He's always fun, always a pleasure. It's just so many, man. The list just goes on. Super Crazy, he's another one who comes to mind. B-Boy. And it's so many. It's hard to kind of, narrow it all down, like I said.
But that's a good model because, I mean, you basically, you like the guys who are moving. You like the guys who are running them ropes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's my style. Lucha Libre is my style, just because, it's just, translate to me as a performer more so in ring just because of just my size and stature, so, obviously, I'm like a cruiserweight type of match performer, but, I've had incredible matches with a lot of incredible talent, and, those are just a few to name. Sanjay Dutt is another guy who's very, fun to work with.
Sanjay can base too. He's not just running the ropes and doing high spots. I mean, he's solid.
Oh yeah, player. Yeah, that's the original player from the Himalayas. Yeah. But yeah, it's an incredible long list of guys that I've had so much fun working with throughout all the years. The Young Bucks, it's a lot of guys. Who I enjoy right now, Ricochet. He's phenomenal right now. He's phenomenal right now. He's crushing it. AJ as well. He's killing it, and just that's another list that's long as well. You know what I mean? Just being a fan and a performer. You know what I mean? I have a long list on both ends. I've been a lifelong fan. So I have a long list of a lot of individuals, like a lot of individuals that's in a temple right now. My coworkers, I'm a fan of all of them. You know what I mean? Shane Strickland stands out. Jeff Cobb stands out. There's so many talented individuals up and down that roster. Taya, shout out to my girl Taya, what's happening. I mean, there's so many individuals that are so talented, and just Lucha Underground where I work, you know what I mean? And not even outside that yet, before, I have to mention everybody on the roster before I can even go outside of that to say this and that.
But you're picking some of my favorites too, like when the Taya and Cage match was just on again the other day. And that match is so good. Like, she's another one where I get salty sometimes when I see her valet and then not in the ring. It's like, damn, you remember Taya Cage, right? Come on, that was the shit.
Right.
And Swerve, Strickland, I'm a huge fan of his. And AR Fox as well.
Right.
AR, Mr. No Social Media Fox.
You guys got to get on Twitter, man.
How the hell does AR Fox get booked constantly? Like, the 5 right guys must just have his phone number, because that dude spends 0 time on the internet or his phone.
Hey, Conan did tell me he has a cell phone, so he's got one. We just need to
Fox? Oh, I know he's got a cell phone. I've seen him on it, but he's looking at it with like disdain, like he's gonna whoop the phone's ass. Like he does not like that shit. But yeah, we gotta get Swerve on here for sure. We gotta do that.
Yeah, he's super cool. I'm sure he's down to come on.
I mean, I'd like to see you guys tearing it up in Lucha Underground for some reason. I'm sure DJ could come up with some reason for you guys to throw yourselves mercilessly on each other.
We actually have once before in the dark.
Oh shit! Were you at that, Casey?
Yeah, I was there for that.
The 5-way dark.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one where someone got a footprint on their face?
It might have been. It was a lot of kicking in that match.
Oh, with the infamous peppery potato match that I keep hearing about.
Yeah. I think that might have been that one. If not, it was the same weekend maybe. But yeah, I've been to a lot of the tapings and seen a lot of really cool dark matches that all the people.
I heard there's no heat after that one, by the way. I heard it's all good. Just so you know, Case. I don't know if I even told you that, but he told me that there's no heat. They're all good now.
That's good.
Some of y'all know what we're talking about. Some of y'all don't. But you probably don't need to know.
I don't think we can talk about it yet because we made one of the people involved make a bunch of really weird faces when we mentioned it before. Like we weren't supposed to talk about it.
Well, yeah, but this shit happens. Sometimes there's a little pepper on the end of something. Sometimes there's a little,
a little stank. We call it stank.
Yeah.
A little stank.
I mean, sometimes you wake up and you have an entire sole of a boot printed on your face. It happens.
It does. It does happen.
Now,
all right.
I got a question for you, B.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I know you came from Santino Brothers School. Is that the shirt you're wearing right now?
Yeah, it's actually it's very similar. Mago Santino. He's one of the trainers there, one of the original founding partners. He was in a tag team with the head trainer Joey Chaos, the Santino Brothers. So they're where you get the name of the school. But this is the logo, the eyes. Let me raise up so you guys can see it. Boom, the eyes, and with the Mago Santino website on it. But yeah,
now,
this is
my
it.
other question relating to that is, did you ever do those crazy shows in the Anaheim marketplace? Or was that after? Or was that before your time?
No, I know what you're talking about, but I've only worked there one time.
Mm-hmm.
I only worked there one time. But I actually worked I used to, like, when I first started, I worked in the American Sports Center, which is like pretty much right next door, right down the road. I did a lot of shows for John Ian there with Mach 1 there. So when I went to Anaheim, I was there more so than the marketplace.
Yeah, that place was nuts. Like all the Rudos used to come hug me for heat and stuff. And yeah, it was crazy. And then like randomly, SEMA would be there doing shows. Like you're like, what? He came from Japan. How is he here right now?
Right.
You know, and yeah, it was some weird stuff. I remember Mach 1. I was an AWS guy for quite some time too.
Right. Right. I've had a lot of good matches. Yeah. So Southgate area or you're...
Yeah, I lived in Chino.
Okay.
And so Frankensons was like right there, you know, where Bart his first shows where he had the store there and everything, you know.
Right. And that store was incredible. Store was incredible. It took wrestling and comics to a whole new level. I mean, they would have tapes of just stuff that for sure somebody recorded this. This is not like a tape that was ever released. Like somebody legitimately had that tape and was recording the footage at their house and kind of labeled it up and you know, sat it in the store and was like, hey, well, I'll just sell it now. But yeah, they had some footage that it was very rare and hard to find there. Yeah, Frankensons was awesome. It still is. They still do autograph signings there too as well from time to time. From what I see in here.
Claire was there recently, and I'm like, whoa, they're still doing it. Because I don't live over by there anymore. I live over by like Six Flags Magic Mountain now. So I'm like,
okay, Valencia, huh?
Yeah,
like, I grew up in Valencia.
I live in Passaic. Byron lived in Valencia, but yeah, like the only shows we get out here are once in a while in Newhall. There'll be a show, but that's about it.
Well, that's where I debuted in that building in Newhall. I debuted in Newhall. I had my first match.
The American Legion Hall there.
Yep, that's where I had my first match at. Yeah,
that is awesome. That's
you always complain, Casey, but you had better stuff out here than I ever did in Cleveland. You were close to some good stuff, man. We got nothing.
Well, are you complaining, Mr. I used to go to original ECW shows?
You had to drive to Philly, fool. You know how far away Philly is?
I have no idea. I don't, because...
That's like me telling you to drive to Portland for a show. Philly ain't close, man. We had to work for that junk.
Man, I would love to drive to Portland for a show like Playboy Buddy Rose and Piper.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. You had Art Barr turning into Beetlejuice, and then the Juicer in WCW. But yeah, Portland's great. I think the only reason we have footage of Portland right now is because Playboy Buddy Rose was like one of the first people with a VCR. So he just taped everything he was on, and like everything that you see now is from his collection, which is kind of cool.
Wow, that is cool.
Because, man, we lost everything in California. I was talking about that when Chavo Sr. passed, about how they would just tape over the next week with the previous week's tape, you know, and just kind of all the footage was lost due to that.
Thing ever, man. I mean, that's how they lost half the Doctor Who stuff, too. It's like, how the fuck did you guys lose entire seasons of television shows?
Well, no one really kept shit before, so they didn't know there would be a market for it, and you would never rerun wrestling. I mean, Lucha Underground's like the first show that really does that and plays old episodes. I mean, like, it would happen a little bit on some of the weird LA channels with Lucha. Like, you'll see the same 4 shows in a loop once in a while, which is totally weird, and I don't know why they do it.
Right.
But, they didn't know there was a market for it. Luckily, they do now, and we're able to see, like, the first 2 seasons on Netflix of Lucha Underground. And a couple
I mean, they would repackage matches sometimes and do another new show, but nobody would ever really rerun the whole same show.
Except WCW. They do those all-nighters once in a while, which were kind of cool. I know me and Byron used to watch them a lot. And then
even sometimes they used to show full-length matches of the pay-per-views like early in the morning, like 5, 6 in the morning. Like I remember I used to see. Like, you know, I would wake up, I'm like, what's this? And it'd be like, you know, Sting versus Flair from some pay-per-view that they had did. And it was like, oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, they did used to do that a lot.
I remember waking up at 6 o'clock every Saturday morning to see the WCW Saturday morning show.
There you go. Yeah.
I did not need to wake up that early on a Saturday.
That's the only reason why I would be awake as well.
I gotta send a shout out to
a lot of State Patrol matches.
Sorry, I gotta send a shout out to the homie Urban. He says I straight up stole some of his questions that they had asked Famous B.
Oh, hey,
No,
Urban to tell you that I made the last Real Hills podcast famous. He would tell
did.
you that.
I heard that episode. It was pretty good. I often tell people I don't listen to their show, but I did listen to that episode. And
well, they had him on 3 times. Like I know I heard the third one, or I remember the third one because that's the most recent one. Yeah. I don't know if I ever heard the first one though.
Oh, dude, they're all good. Yeah, like they're totally worth going back and listening if they've still got the archive up. I don't know if they do.
Well, but Urban's gonna start posting some of that stuff on video. So it's all love between us and the Heels, y'all. Just don't think that we're hating. It's not a Twitwild thing. So if
there is no beef amongst the Lucha Underground community. There's no beef at all.
So guys, go and check out, like, if you want to hear more of Famous B, it's not in our archives, it's in the Last Real Heels archive. So hit at Urban Heretic 187 on Twitter and ask him where you can find those episodes too, because I know B dropped some serious knowledge on those, and plus the Heels are fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they're hilarious. I'm kidding. It's got to be a gimmick, right?
We hung out with them in person, dude.
I don't know where the gimmick starts and the gimmick ends, man. I'm not the one to ruin anybody's kayfabe. Like, I don't know what their deal is.
And those episodes are great, though. So everyone bug Urban right now. Slide into his DMs if you have to.
Well, and they're the best. They're the best episodes ever of a podcast of 3 dudes having a conversation, and you don't know where the kayfabe line is at all. Like when you're in full character or they're in full, like, I have no clue listening to those. I was like, I don't know if anything I just heard was real shoot or what the fuck just happened. But it's all entertaining,
and that's all that matters. All that matters.
All entertaining. All right, B, you got anything else you want to plug? Me and Casey got to talk about this face-off show here in a minute, but I want to give you a chance to throw anything else out there before we let you go.
Oh man, go ahead and do you guys' thing, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It was a pleasure, man. We gotta definitely build up our archives now of
for sure.
episodes here. But in all seriousness, I'd like to thank you guys for having me on. I would also like to thank the believers, thank the fans, everybody who supports the show, who supports Lucha Underground. And like you said, it's all about just sharing to as many people as you possibly can. And, I just, like to thank everybody out there for supporting me, for supporting the show. And I love doing it, and, it's a beautiful thing. So check me out on Twitter at FamousB23. You can find me also on Facebook. You can check out some of my independent matches on my YouTube channel, which is also FamousB23. And it's all love, man. And I'm just happy that I can be in this business that I love, that I sacrificed to be in, that I struggled to be in. And I'm happy now that I know for a fact that I made the right decision at the time that I made the decision to do it, because I can talk to great people like you guys, and I can have great fans like all the people who support me. And, this is why I did it, to be in this community, in this bubble. So thank everybody. And, thank you guys for having me on.
Well, absolutely. You're welcome anytime. And for real, when you get the Pro Wrestling Tees store up and whatnot, and you got some stuff you want to sell, even if it's only for 5 minutes, just let me know. We'll have you come in so you can drop the plug yourself and get people hyped up on that merch, because we know that that's the important stuff, man. People gotta eat, y'all.
Yeah. You already know.
And we all know that everybody got to wait for a minute before they get back to that taping money for some Lucha Underground.
Yes.
I mean, it's funny and it's not funny at the same time. Like, it's real, y'all. Let's keep all these workers, employed, and keep their merch selling in these down periods, whatever. Because got to keep it real. Got to keep that money flowing for everybody. So, thank you again for joining. And next time too, I promised Holly too that we'd have her. Give her a chance to swing through, because I did hit her up at the last minute today. Like, hey, you want to? Right. She's like, of course I want to do it, but I can't. Screw you guys. Right. So we'll have to have you guys maybe both come back through, plug some T-shirts, and holler at us again.
Absolutely, man. Sounds like a plan, man. Definitely will do.
All right, B. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, brother.
Not a problem, my man. Peace.
Word.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. But Justin, you know what was not awesome?
What was not awesome? What did I do wrong this time?
No, the ending of Face Off this week. I I yelled "fuck you" at my screen at work that I was watching it on. So
Yeah, what the hell? The whole episode they're selling me on an elimination episode, and The Bachelor did this junk this week too. They did like a 45-minute episode where they just did a half an episode, and then they said come back next week for 3 hours. And then I watched Face Off after that, and I'm like, oh shit, we're getting to an elimination. And then they pull out this swerve of like, hey, more finishing touches, more final touches, and more final looks. Like,
yeah,
what?
So the challenge was to make, okay, so they had a car. It's some Hyundai car that they're plugging. I'm not going to give them some Honda plug. I'm not going to give them any plug because they're not fucking paying us. If I'm going to plug anyone, it's going to be my bros with cool wrestling sites or podcasts or whatever, or
right.
Promotions.
It was the Korean version of Honda, I think. One of those. I don't remember.
Whatever it is, dude, they plug this car for like 20 minutes so they don't have time for an elimination. And then they do a thing which is a dope challenge. They have all these Mad Max looking cars and they say, all right, you got to pick one of these cars. You have to create a character that's the driver of this car. And you have to use 3 of the car parts that are in the box in front of the car in your makeup, which is pretty cool.
Which was awesome. And the first thing that came to my mind is, how the hell is Emily going to even be in this challenge? Knowing damn well she's never seen a post-apocalyptic anything. She's never seen a Mad Max movie. She's never seen Death Race. She's never seen anything with a car in the apocalypse ever. She might have seen Waterworld, but that's not even cars.
God, she might have seen the Waterworld stunt show at Universal Studios, but I could barely make it through Waterworld. Anyway, post-apocalyptic, Sig and George fucking
killers,
knock it out of the park. They're into this already. They're fucking monsters when it comes to makeup.
But yeah, I mean, let's talk about Sig and George real quick, because that makeup was amazing. They did like this buzzsaw mohawk thing on the top, but it was split into 2 pieces. Then it was like a burn victim, but there was like talisman engravings into the makeup and weird stuff. And it was like the attention to detail for how short a period of time they had to work on this particular piece was phenomenal. Was just
dude, and she had the arm gauntlets that had buzzsaws on them, like fucking Blackie Lawless from Wasp. Shout out to Blackie Lawless, you fat piece of shit.
Nice reference. I like it. I dig it.
He's fat as shit now. Like worse than Byron even. But
all those guys, man. I saw Adamant not too long ago, and he's like 3 Adamants now, and he's just wide. He's not even fat. He got wide. It's so weird. It's like somebody smashed
he's like
him.
Adam Cockroach now or something.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and he's running around singing Goody Two Shoes, trying to be sexy. I'm sorry, I don't know how I got off on this Adamant thing. It's just weird. He's just wide. All of my heroes are wide. Dude,
Wasp is an amazing band. I wish they would have done the Buzzsaw codpiece too, just because I fucking want one so bad. I'd settle for the gauntlets. But yeah, the thing that's a little concerning, is you could tell Emily never saw any of these movies because they made a Cenobite from Hellraiser. It was not a post-apocalyptic character.
Who's Emily and Tyler?
Yeah, it looked like something either.
I said it looked like the apocalypse version of a Tropicana showgirl.
Kinda. I thought it looked like a Tropicana showgirl open the Lamet configuration, you know? A lot of piercings, head all stretched out, skin flayed off of it.
Well, but then why were the judges being so nice too? At first, when they were all taking their closer looks, they were saying like, you know, this really misses the mark. And one judge brought it up or whatever, but I would have floored them over it. Like, I don't care how good it is. Like, you can't like come into a challenge to do something from the apocalypse and then do an awesome Grover Muppet.
Oh, and you know who we didn't talk about, the guest judge who was as bad of a judge as he is a director.
You don't like Paul W.S.?
No. First of all, we had a nickname for him in grad school, Paul Who Gives a Shit Anderson. And the guy's career
I like the Resident Evil movies, man.
I like the first one. Now they just exist to keep his wife employed. It's like, I don't know.
He's done some shite. He's done some pure crap.
Yeah.
What'd you think of his new Death Race? Didn't he do the Death Race whatever?
I fucking hate those movies. I love the new Death Race Roger Corman did. That was amazing. It's on
You know,
Netflix.
I watched that whole thing too, and the Aussie guy who or Kiwi guy who plays the lead is actually really good acting through the whole thing. It's so weird, but it's awesome.
The carnage in that movie and the murder is what those other Death Race movies needed. And also, I can't watch a Jason Statham movie without laughing because the Transporter, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, I'm just saying it as a fact. The Transporter is the gayest movie ever made. Like
Gayer than Crank?
Gayer than Elm Street 2.
Wow, that's saying something.
He oil wrestles a dude and then goes underwater and has to suck the air out of his mouth to breathe by kissing him.
I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
but maybe that's the market. Maybe that's the target audience.
Hey, it could be, and it could. I feel like in 10 years they're gonna have a DVD, and the writer's gonna go, "I thought it was all subtext, like the Elm Street 2 guy."
It ain't
And
just ladies who like sexy men's. I'm just
no, it's
saying.
true.
It ain't my thing, but maybe it's a thing.
I mean, hey, if that's what Cesaro wants to imitate with his looks, that's fine with him.
He does have a Statham thing going
He
right now,
does,
doesn't he?
but he is way more ripped than that dude, man. And
Yeah.
but the Death Race movie, it was too serious, and they took out the killing the pedestrians, which is the fun part. Like, that was the best part.
And in the Corman movie, I mean, that's the whole gag, and it's perfect. It's hilarious. I mean, it's as much of a social commentary as anything Romero did. It's amazing.
And him as a judge was saying the exact opposite of what all the other judges that are industry award-winning people all fucking said. Like, he was the exact opposite.
Hey, well, directors don't necessarily get along with their makeup people.
So
but
he knew what they were talking about. He was talking about somewhat because
he just didn't agree.
He said,
with
like,
it.
your fish skin looks like shit, and it did look like shit, and it was fish skin, and he knew that, and that's not the most common material for people that don't know what they're talking about, you know.
Well, I mean, it was an attention to detail thing, but I think maybe that's part of why they gave them second last looks or rushed them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What were some of the other ones? Like Ben and Evan had the burn victim flamethrower guy. It was decent, cool.
Yeah, it was decent.
Like, with the mask with the 2 layers and the green stuff in the middle.
Yeah, he was cool.
Now, was there a reveal of the mask for the burned face, or was the mask always off the whole time?
He took it off when he first came on stage because they didn't have it that it would stay there well, because it didn't work the way they wanted it to. But I thought it was cool because it reminded me of Cropsy from The Burning, and that's like one of my favorite movies. So I was on board right away. If you guys haven't seen The Burning, it's the best slasher movie ever made. Better than Halloween.
It was good.
There you go.
And then what was the Rachel Engage did that Captain Caveman looking thing? That was not one of my favorite looks. That thing was not.
It wasn't the judge's favorite looks either. So what they did is they got the 4 bottom looks teams, or no, the 3 bottom looks teams, and they said, you guys get another hour to improve the makeup based on what we said was shitty. And that was one that I would have sent them home for that makeup. If I had to pick from the bottom looks, theirs was the
Rachel
bottom.
Engage?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
What sucks, though, is Team Merwolf was on the bottom looks, and this is their 3rd week in a row on bottom looks.
What was theirs? The sword thing?
Theirs was the tank girl looking one that the makeup was too bright and fresh. Like, she had face paint on, but it looked like she just put it on. It looked like Ultimate Warrior getting ready for a match instead of Ultimate Warrior after he wrestled Hulk Hogan for 40 minutes, which is what a Wasteland person should look like, you know. But
what's the one we did? Oh, we didn't mention Kaylin and Melissa's.
Yeah, that was Team Merwolf.
That was theirs, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
the arm. They had the arm thing
were fucking Adam and Logan. That the whole show was them hating each other.
I got issue with it too because the design on paper was awesome. Like, I liked the flags coming out, and this is supposed to be a motorcycle riding character with flags coming out. I thought would have been a genius touch.
Yeah.
2 swords, however, is a stupid idea. I agree that that's a stupid idea. You don't make a post-apocalyptic motorcycle rider with a 2-handed weapon of any kind. They should have like a straight ninja sword or something that while they're riding a motorcycle, they could actually pull out and use.
Like swords, who's controlling the bike?
Right. It's like maybe if they're the rider along with someone else, but that was a bad idea. And then the whole thing just looked chintzy. It didn't look like if I was going to put this performer on a motorcycle, it would hold up even for just a driving with no stunt. Like it didn't look like it would hold up for a second. So I had issue with it. But design-wise, it was one of my favorite conceptually.
And drama-wise on the show, those guys were just butting heads, and it was the most like interpersonal drama you've seen on the show in a while. Because if you watch the early seasons, they were trying to play that shit up, but I think the audience is just like, we want to see the fucking makeup.
Well, and they have a whole group of serious pros here now too, not people who don't know what they're doing who are going to fight over it. These guys are guys who really know what's up. But
right, and it does suck because it lost a lot in the paint, and that was one guy's fault. And if it's one guy's fault, they both go home.
Right.
Which is kind of fucked up right now, because usually when they do team stuff and they're only eliminating one person, they're like, who did what? And then they tell them and they're like, well, we hated yours, but we didn't hate yours as much. You're going home. You know?
All right, so who would you have sent home?
I would have sent home Gage and Rachel based on theirs. Yeah.
Okay, but I did have serious issue with the Tyler and Emily one too, just because it wasn't the challenge at all.
Yeah. Usually, no matter how good it is, if it's not the challenge, they shit all over it.
Right.
But they had immunity, so they couldn't be in bottom looks anyway.
I felt like that would have been the thing. Hey guys, I know I said this earlier, so let me throw this at you now. I got the information on the Lucha Loot drop that I wanted to give you guys. So, and I'm gonna straight read this because you know the guys over at Mass Republics and this and because I didn't understand all of it. It's like a really cool setup. So basically, Lucha Loot is the only Lucha Libre themed monthly subscription box, and it's the only box you're gonna find with 100% authentic and officially licensed merchandise from the Luchadors, including some exclusives that they have. So Lucha Loot has 3 different subscription options, like we were talking about before. There's the $10 a month Lucha Loot Mini. It's like essentially a Lucha Mask of the Month club. Every month, a new Lucha mask direct from Mexico City heads to your door. They're the commercial type masks you often find outside the arenas in Mexico, sold in the U.S. around $20 or so. They're like good commercial grade masks. So, and the masks feature like zip up backs as opposed to like the lower end shoestring masks. And they're one size fits all. So that's the first one. That's Lucha Loot Mini. Then there's a $20 a month standard chest, which gets you the mask, a Lucha themed t-shirt, an autographed 8x10, the latest issue of the magazine that Mass Republic does called Rudo Can't Fail. And it's Lucha Libre's only English language monthly publication. And usually one small additional item like a sticker or postcard or something. So that's a big jump right there from the mini to the standard chest. That's a lot of cool stuff that you get in that. Then, excuse me, there's the $30 a month deluxe booty chest. You got to love anything that's got booty in the title. That gets you everything in the standard chest that we just talked about. Plus, you get a more premium T-shirt, usually an officially licensed Luchador shirt that you can normally only find at luchashop.com, and those are about $20 themselves. Plus, you get an additional items, usually guaranteed. Usually it includes a DVD, sticker, postcard, more stuff. That chest is guaranteed to be worth at least double the $30 price, at least, and usually it ranges from being worth about $75 to $80 retail. So, God, I'm choking. I lost my voice like yesterday. I couldn't speak at all. It was crazy. So 3 and 6 month subscriptions to each crate are a discounted price when the subscription's paid up front. Month-to-month subscribers are billed on about the second or third of each month until they cancel. So it ships worldwide. That's you, Meef. Crates ship out at the end of the month, and cutoff for ordering any month is the 15th, unless they sell out early.
They only get
God
so
damn.
much shit, so you got to get on it when you get on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's exclusively available Lucha Shop, luchaloot.com. And right now, even at luchaloot.com, you can use our discount code MMM Show. That's it. 3 M's. This is how you do this, Byron. MMMSHOW. That's MMM Show. Put that in the code checkout. You'll get 10% off your first crate if you use our code. That's it. What the hell is going on?
Oh shit! It's Luke Harper. What's up?
It's Urbano Seximo.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, dude. You look professional right now, like you're a streamer or something. What's up?
Yeah, something like that. Shout out to Fireball Whiskey. They're not paying me, but they damn well should.
Oh, okay.
God
Yeah.
dang, how do you do that with that stuff? Wait, I like this setup. You sound like nice and crisp in my head.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
is
a
this
good. What kind of headset is that, bro? That's a good headset.
Hold on, let me look. It's a Logitech PX3 wireless headset.
Yeah, because Casey had his gamer headphones on, but the microphone was not nearly the quality that one
Oh,
is.
dude, mine are just some piece of shit $20 fucking PS4 headphones. Is why.
Yeah, they're not Logitech. They're Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach. I'm a dumbass.
Oh,
Yes.
that's where Byron lives in Florida. Is Turtle Beach.
Mm.
Sounds like
I
a
live
thing.
behind
Big
the turtles.
He has a turtle head hanging out right now. You want to see it?
Well, not really.
Byron's the one who's not wearing pants.
I thought we decided when I won the entire birthday thing and it became my birthday forever and all time yesterday that we weren't going to let Byron talk about where he lives anymore.
I did purposely give Justin a birthday post on his wall. I did not give Byron one.
Hey, Urban, can you read this? J-Ray has a request that's probably backwards on the screen.
No, it's not backwards. It says
I got
here,
it.
hold on,
I got you, J Ray. I got you, man.
Oh no!
Oh, nudity.
Well, we just got red flagged.
No, it's PG-13 still.
Yeah,
You asked for it, buddy.
It's male boobies.
Yeah.
It's not against the code.
It's like, what's that 80s movie, Just One of the Guys? Didn't that still get a PG and have boobies in it?
It was PG-13, and it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And Billy Zabka, fucking amazing in that movie. Better than Karate Kid, I might even say.
Did I piss Byron off so much that he quit the show?
No,
I don't
it
know,
was
but
me.
he should be here to talk about Just One of the Guys, because that movie was on every day on HBO, so I think I have the whole movie memorized.
I love that movie. That's a good movie. I
No,
don't
he's
even know.
going to scratch his balls, and he's like, you got to get inside. You got to dig a little. Move things around a bit. Show him who's boss.
Speaking of 80s movies, and I didn't start the show off with this, but what's up? Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Game over, man. Game over.
Game fucking over.
That bummed me the fuck out. Urban, you've seen Frailty, yeah? Or are you
Yes,
gonna watch it?
yes, I have seen it. I've seen it twice.
It's fucking great, right?
I love it.
Frailty's a great movie.
Bill Paxton is a madman, and this is for Bill Paxton.
Throw one down for Bill.
He's the man.
And John Hurt. John Hurt.
Yeah. Fucking
They've all
Ultimate
been in
Warrior, we mentioned him earlier. Fucking Jim Hellwig.
No,
Yeah.
you're not getting into me. Nope, nope.
No, and I'll throw
Just
one down
John Hurt
for I'm gonna throw one back for Roman Reigns' push. Because that's dead too.
Are we talking WWE? Do I need to bust out the comics?
Look, you do, because I do have a couple things to say. They finally, I'm going to work backwards from SmackDown. They finally got around to setting up this freaking Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt thing for WrestleMania.
I need to watch that. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Randy Orton burns down Abigail and the whole house.
I've seen the picture of him doing that.
Sorry. That's like the ultimate spoiler. I just gave you the whole entire ending.
No, I know that happened.
What did you cook, Byron?
I'm cooking hash browns right now. I've had them in my freezer for like 2 months.
Hey, man, those things never go bad.
No.
Or
I watched Raw, regrettably. By the way,
regrettably, what was wrong with Raw?
Well, Seth Rollins and his whole thing, just there's no interest. Samoa Joe is great. Also, watching.
Wait, you don't care about the Seth Rollins Triple H thing or him trying to come back for WrestleMania? Like, clearly he's coming back if they did that, right?
Oh, he's gonna wrestle at WrestleMania. No, I don't care about it. They ruined all of that the first time he came back from knee injury. Like, there's no reason to really invest in Seth Rollins. It's gonna be boring and not good. Even if like he's doing something kind of cool right now, like when he went on NXT and demanded Triple H, and then when he got beat up by Samoa Joe. It's all going to. It's just in the big picture, it's going to be boring, and there's no heat anywhere.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that. That's the kind of garbage TV wrestling that I expect you to like.
I like the promo where Samoa Joe and Cesaro were talking, and Cesaro looked like he was like a high school student who just took drama class for the first time.
Hey, can I give away something? Is Meef still watching?
I don't know. I was about to actually see if I could get Meef on. I don't know if he's still watching that.
If
Byron gave away penal virginity.
Party.
He didn't answer me before, but I think I want to give away something that he would very much enjoy.
Your boobs?
No, I don't even enjoy those. I have a Lucha Underground comic, the first one, and I think he might enjoy it. And if he wants it, he can have it. He can DM me, give me your address. I will give it to you. I will ship it to you. Don't worry about paying me for shipping. I will take care of it.
Wait, so Urban is doing a Last Row Heels giveaway on our show?
No, it's MMM show. This is not about Last Row Heels. This is MMM show giveaway. Urban has plenty of toys to give away.
Oh, Casey, you have something to say about that?
Hey, you know what I got to say about that is that you were talking WWE, so I actually took this Wildcats number 4. It was still in its plastic that originally shipped with it, so that it could have the Deathmate trading card in it, and it's got the best comic smell. Wow, my Stone Cold sounds better than that Stone Cold.
Yeah, I think they got Larry the Cable Guy to do that version. What's up there, Meef?
Hey!
Did you hear what Urban just said to you?
I did. I just heard it as I was switching over. That's very wonderful and magical. Oh wow.
This comic sucks. That one's good. This one sucks.
What am
But
I
it
reading?
smells
Oh,
so
Casey,
good, dude.
you'll like the one that I'm reading. Check this out. One of the original versions from the toys of the one of the Masters of the Universe comic books.
I got it. I'll show you something, Justin. I'll show you something.
That's legit vintage. That's in near mint condition. That's actually worth about $36 now.
Let me show you something, Justin. Which comic is that? What's the title of that one?
King of Castle Grayskull.
King of Castle Grayskull. Well, it is in this right here, which is the greatest thing that any of you could buy. And I don't have a code for you or anything, but this right here is every single mini comic. Look at how big this shit is.
Good Lord.
Wow, so that's got this in it.
That's
basically.
in it. Yeah, that's in it.
Are you excited because the He-Man probably has a wrestling boner on the cover of that?
You know what?
I think my valuation for this might have been a little high because I feel like the pages are yellowing a little bit there.
You know what, Justin? That's one of the original ones before they actually started using the cartoon story. So Conan's He-Man. Oh, how did I make that mistake?
Wow.
He-Man is like a barbarian in it. But yeah, see, it's right here, dude.
Yeah, so this is I think this is pre-show.
Yeah, because the ones that have like the text are pre-show, and then the ones where they actually have like word balloons and shit are after the show came out.
Yeah, there's no word balloons in that one. It's old. I mean, it's from the first He-Man that I bought. So, which would have been before those. What's up, Urban?
Can I ask Meef to do something for me? I've been asking this for a long time. I need Meef to say, "Shut up, you blue Burke." Sorry, I southerned it up.
Really good.
Blue Burke.
Shut up, you blue Burke.
Yes,
Pretty good.
You're gonna record that. Just put that on an endless loop, aren't you?
that's fucking awesome. I'm gonna fucking steal that from your fucking site.
And he's gonna
And it's
play
Wazza.
it later. That's gonna be in his earphones
I'll mail it.
when
to
he's
you.
having a wank. I will British it up and say when he's having a wank. The only thing that sucks about this book, you guys,
I meant to
is
say I'm the racist one.
What would that be?
The only thing that sucks is about like this much of the book is She-Ra. That's not cool, man. Give
That's
She-Ra her own book.
unacceptably not cool.
I wanted to talk He-Man with DJ and shit on that a little bit, but I'm sure he would just give She-Ra the belt anyway. So
I
what?
think DJ's still gonna come by in a couple of weeks. I don't know. He couldn't do last week. We've had a lot of guests that are scheduled and then can't make it. We had another one that couldn't get off their plane in time to do the show, which sucked, but we'll get that one back too.
Yeah,
Eventually.
it was.
By the way,
actually,
you guys missed. It's been a year since Hayabusa died.
You know, that fucked me up when that happened, man. That was fucked up. He's me and Byron probably were introduced to him through video games, yeah? Like WCW versus the World when he was Habanero.
Habanero.
Yeah, his name was Habanero because they all had fake names and shit. And
Yeah, but he would do the Phoenix splashing. You'd be like, holy shit, this guy's awesome. It's a cool video game, dude. And then when we learned it was a person, holy shit.
yeah, I remember buying old FMW, like before there was like a slight time when FMW started putting out English language DVDs with the worst fucking commentary you will ever hear in your life. Through Tokyo Pop was the company that did it. And which was pretty much an anime and manga company, and they did their own versions of FMW. But before that, I was buying that shit from High Spots on VHS, and sometimes you'd get the wrong tape. And like I think the first one I had with him on it was Best of the Explosion matches, where every match on the tape was an explosion death match. And they had a good one with him versus Onita in a cage, which was great. And they had one that was Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka versus Mr. Pogo and Terry Funk. It was pretty amazing. And that one, they cut off Hayabusa's mask during the match and were calling him a piece of shit afterwards and stuff. And Mr. Pogo gave Tanaka a few of those scars that you would see in ECW with a sickle, which is pretty fucking great. But his Hayabusa could do those matches, but he really shined doing just like crazy high flying shit. And a lot of fans that only watch American wrestling didn't really get to like. He had one match in ECW that it was him and Shinzaki versus Sabu and RVD that I honestly thought was a letdown. I think they had jet lag. Like the match didn't turn out like the crazy match you thought it would be. But if you watch some of his Japanese stuff, you'll be pretty amazed by some of the stuff that he does. And his Phoenix Splash is as good as a lot of the guys are that do it now. I don't think Neville's touches his at all, as far as like execution, smoothness, gracefulness, anything like that.
And Neville's is good.
But I mean,
not bad, but
I mean, he did the Falcon Arrow too, which everyone and their fucking mother does a Falcon Arrow now, but you know, he did it first. And he also had a firecracker lit in his ass once during a match.
So Casey, are you saying that you're a fan?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone that watched wrestling around that time internationally was a fan. I don't think there was anyone that was watching any Japanese wrestling that he was on that didn't like him and didn't think that he was something special. And when he actually got out of the wheelchair and walked for his, you know, the retirement thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I shed
I
some
can't watch
manly
him cry.
tears. I'm not
I
gonna
cried.
fucking got really dusty in the room and shit. And yeah, but it sucks because he wasn't gone much later than that. It was only like a few months, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I'd say like highlights are definitely, you know, his feud with Mr. Ganosuke, because they both came up together, and there's a lot of weird angles with it, including the Hayabusa gimmick switching between them and shit like that. You know, that's always cool. And his team with Shinzaki was something special. You'll see them on a lot of All Japan shows. They were usually in a lot of the tag leagues and stuff like that. They didn't usually fare so well in the tag leagues because, you know, All Japan kind of hated junior heavyweights, but, you know, they were there and they did some cool shit.
I love when Casey gets excited. Speaking of excited, Meef, Mr. getting to finally see Pentagon across the pond. What was that like?
Yeah, I was a 5-year-old girl. I got rather excited, and I ended up shaking whilst trying to give him some marker pens. And he came outside the ring, and he ended up kind of like leaning his head on my shoulder. So I gave him a little man hug for Casey.
Thank you. I hope it was uncomfortably long.
Oh, it was a bit weird. But the one moment when he got drop kicked out of the ring and he landed on my lap, and I was like, oh, okay, he's just having a little sit down, chilling out. And then I heard footsteps and realised I'm about to die. So I quickly dove out the way as everybody else died, which is sensible.
Let's see, that's
one
smart.
of
That
the
means
perks of ringside, right? Like,
you listen to our show and you know when to move. I like this.
Oh yeah, what was insane was it was actually in a nightclub. But like the ceiling was maybe 6 foot above the ring.
Oh, that's
man.
the best.
So there's not. Yeah, and like where we were ringside, there was literally no one behind us in seats apart from like these booths you can buy, and we were about 2.5 foot away from the ring. So it was like, I'm gonna die if anybody goes over the top rope. And luckily, the spot, basically the turnbuckle, actually the top turnbuckle broke. The top rope came off. Like, do you know the really stupid Irish guy on the UK tournament? T-Bone.
Yeah.
Right.
He whipped this guy who changed his name to Charlie Garrett or whatever, or Charlie Sterling now, sorry. And he whipped him against the rope, and it actually broke the bolt that holds the rope in.
Take it
It
easy.
snapped. Yeah, it snapped, and like basically it went flying off, and he went, oh, like, it looked brutal. I thought he'd actually snapped his neck at one point. It was quite worrying. And then that was just before Penta's first match, and which was against Paige's brother.
Really?
What's he sound like, Casey?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Oh, you know, actually, she spoke very highly of Pentagon recently, so I'm not going to make fun of her anymore.
Dude, she's got friends and fans in our universe now.
So Meatloaf, I got to share my first time meeting Pentagon, too, because I look gangsta as fuck right here.
I looked really, really, really sheepish. Is the best way to put my picture.
I think
Apart from the one that
here's our other one. This is Byron's first time meeting Pentagon, but I'm there too. And he's smiling. The people were saying on your Facebook he never fucking smiles. He's smiling right here.
He's our bud. He's hanging out with us.
He was probably silent. So
you know, when he saw us come in, he gave us the bro hug handshake too. We were so excited. Yeah. And then Byron got a boner and ruined it forever.
I mean, dude, if I were Pentagon and I saw Byron, I would smile too, because Byron owns like $4,000 worth of Pentagon masks.
Oh, you're going to talk about Pentagon masks?
Dude, for a solid month.
What do you have to say about that?
What?
Me, did you get a mask?
I got 2.
Damn, how much did that cost?
I'm not allowed to mention how much they cost. They were cheaper than I usually pay. That's all I can say. And when I turned up, he didn't have any out. So I was just like, oh, have you got any masks for sale? So he was like, do you want a mask? Told me the price. And then he kind of like excitedly ran off to get them out of his bag for me.
Well, hell
And
yeah,
then I
'cause that just
excitedly
made his
spent
day.
lots of
That was his pub money right there.
Yeah. Oh, he likes Subway.
Really?
Eat fresh.
Yeah, I did that thing of like I get really kind of worried about English people because they're twats, and basically they wouldn't think twice about taking the picture. You know, where he's not wearing his mask, and he happened to walk out between the two shows and like nip out for some food, and there was a queue of people outside, and I just was no sold it, and then stood at because the Subway was just across the road. So I thought, if anybody works it out, I'm going to run over there and punch them.
Just lay them out cold.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good
then
guy.
hide their body somewhere.
You see,
That's a good guy.
I gotta think it's a bit harder for him to be incognito, being a Mexican luchador walking around in England as opposed to Southern California, where he could
Can
probably
we talk
take his
about
mask
him
off.
being incognito in Southern California, Justin, when he showed up at PWG Bola with everyone else in their masks, and he has a T-shirt over his head with his face hanging out, and he's walking in with Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar. What are people gonna think?
That you're the new valet?
maybe.
Translator.
You know what? People were respectful. No one took a picture. No one was a dick. No one said, "Hey, Pentagon, what's up?"
Well, I mean, that's a room full of smarks, so I would hope so. But like you know, Meef is saying, in the middle of England at a wrestling show with a 12-foot ceiling clearance, that could be a problem.
Yeah,
part of being a
no one would
respectful
think twice
fan
about it.
is pretending that you don't know who they are with their masks off, even if you do.
Well, that's the thing. Is over here, they don't really care for lucha libre. They don't know any of the traditions. They don't honor things like that. So I'm as you kind of guessed by what I just said about meeting him, I'm a massive mark.
Yeah.
But it's like when Phoenix was over here, he was doing the same thing. He was walking around, and I'd actually clocked him before I actually met him without his mask on, and I was like, not going to say a word. And then when I seen him later on, he kind of just gave me this look, kind of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And I was like, don't do that. He's like, you bitch. And he's just walking around
He's
casually.
real paranoid about it too. I'm surprised that he wasn't like,
He was stood outside, but not like Pentagon literally walked out the building, walked across the road. Like Phoenix was actually like walking around in the foyer bit. I was like going, dude, you're the only Mexican here.
Exactly.
You know what was awesome? I went to a PWG show once where Kikutaro wrestled the Necro Butcher, which was fucking amazing. And the first thing I saw when I got out of my car to go to the show, and I knew I was in the right place, was Kikutaro outside smoking. And he was outside smoking full gimmick with the fucking mask on.
Necro
And the show wasn't starting for like 3 hours. That's awesome. And it's funny though, because Kikutaro has wrestled without the mask, and his mask just looks like his face anyway, but he still had it on.
Hey guys, is there any other lucha news that we need to discuss this week? Did anybody get their stuff trademarked? Did anybody quit AAA?
Impact
CMLL
Wrestling let talent go, so now they can have El Patron and La Rebellion.
Half of La Rebellion.
Well, let's let talent go. Who got let go? I mean, you're talking about the Hardys going free agents?
The Hardys,
they were going anyway.
Drew Galloway,
they were always going to WWE.
Mike Bennett in his +1.
You know, Drew Galloway's a big motherfucker, and you don't realize that until you see him in person.
Until you see him lose to Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
Or you see him corpse during a slow motion spot in the 10-man match.
He had to put his head on the turnbuckle because he was laughing so fucking hard.
Well, now look, obviously we're here, so we're not watching TNA right now. I'll probably watch it later. But did anybody show up there today? Did Garza show up? Did ADR actually show up?
Yeah, actually, Alberto showed up. ADR was supposed to be the big surprise, but they tweeted it before he fucking aired on the show, so it's not a surprise.
Well, why would you? Why would you want a surprise to a 0.6 audience when you could announce a surprise and get a 0.9?
I don't know. It's Alberto. You sure it doesn't make it a 0.3?
No, of course it goes up.
People go down.
It's going to be great until he starts snow showing.
Dude,
Although-
he's El Presidente of Combate Americas.
And
All I
last time
gotta
I checked, he
say
got his
is
head kicked off.
when Alberto left, the ratings went up all of the seasons after he left in Lucha Underground. I'm just saying.
That's a coincidence. That's coincidental.
Sounds like somebody wants to be the new Page.
Damn.
Page.
Damn.
It was my birthday yesterday, Poppy.
Yeah.
Will you sing to me?
This is so racially offensive, Casey. If I was from across the pond, I would kick somebody's ass right now.
No, because Meatloaf
It's fine.
said
She's
my
got an annoying
impression
accent.
is too classy for Paige, and I kind of suck at any other accent, so I can't make it sound like she's from where she's really from.
Meef, I've been meaning to tell you, if you have HBO Go, one of the movies on there right now is King Ralph.
That movie is amazing.
I've learned everything there is to know about the British culture through King Ralph.
That's like saying you learned everything about Africa from Coming to America, which I know you also believe.
Wow.
I think
That's a good movie, but it's not. It doesn't take place in Africa.
What the fuck? I'm lagging out, Anna.
no.
Lion King. Lion King.
You know, I learned everything I know about England from Benny Hill, I think, which made me really like England a lot.
I learned it from Judge Dredd
Benny-
comics, but those
Wow.
are in America.
I just imagine everyone's,
Is everybody watching movies?
going
like,
to the
what's up?
underground and they're like, and then there's like boobs, and then boobs, boobs. Like that's my impression of England.
No, just
I don't know.
you gotta look up the Action Force, the British version of G.I. Joe. You'll like it. With Baron Ironblood. Yeah, I looked that shit
I'll
up.
be down on that. Oh, hey, you know what I forgot to talk to you about, Casey?
What? My dashing good looks?
A certain lay and pray artist that is coming back officially now against Meef's champion Michael Bisping.
Fuck yeah. You know what, Meef? I'm on your side. I hope he fucking kills Frenchie. Sorry to all our French listeners. Sorry there, Pierre. Sorry, Jacques.
Can't get any more racist. Now you're racist against the French that are from Quebec?
I'm part French Canadian. I'm part French Canadian.
Yeah, so am I.
Really?
So yeah.
You guys are like
I can't give you the
Quebecers.
comic.
You guys should dress up like the Quebecers and like wear your red vests and have your little stun sticks saying we're not the Mounties.
This is so wrong what happened. But so what do you think about this GSP return, Casey? You think it's stupid? You think it's a good idea? The UFC gonna make some money?
Oh, they're gonna make some money, but I want Bisping to beat him.
But this is the right matchup, right? Because it's actually like you don't really know who's gonna win, right?
Right. And you know what? If GSP comes to the ring to the fabulous Rougeau brothers, All-American boys, I will cheer for him.
I mean, I was excited. I'm happy that they got the
All-American
deal
boys.
done.
We don't like heavy metal. We don't like rock and roll. All we ever listen to is Barry Manilow.
Oh dear Lord.
We have such
Oh dear Lord.
Dude, I know all the fucking words to All American Boys except for the French parts. But the thing is, in French, they're shitting on America the whole time. And it was supposed to be an angle that never came out. They just turned heel regularly. I think they were going to say, like, oh, we learned about the French in their song, and they're shitting on America while they're praising it in the English lyrics. It's fucking amazing.
fire tonight, man. I love it. All right, but
Suicidal.
I like the matchup. I'm glad they brought him back. I feel bad for everyone else in the weight class because yes, it's holding up everyone, but I don't care because everyone else in line is a stone cold killer that's going to hold up the division even more by being good. I'd rather Bisping get his chance to whatever. All right, Herman's got something to say.
You can hear me, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Because I don't see a fucking volume thing on my.
Oh, I
you
see
don't
it on
see-
ours.
Your green
Yes,
bar.
I'm on.
Okay, yeah. Look, GSP, he was fucking awesome when he was champ, and then he went away and whatever. Yeah. But I think it's going to be lay and pray, and then you got Michael Bisping, and because GSP's, man, he's a fucking points fighter.
He is.
That's what he does.
But
There's
Bisping
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it.
Bisping's kind of a jab and run kind of guy too. So I mean, they're both the opposite style point fighters, which
is going to be a Benny Hill film.
It is going to
be running in and out of that ring. It's going to be.
And entering the ring to Yakety Sax, Michael Bisping.
Yes,
that would be fucking amazing. I would pay $60 just for that. But I do have to say, guys, what we're not thinking of is what did GSP do in his off time? Okay, he got in a fight with Captain America, bro.
Oh, did he?
He fought a guy with super soldier serum in his system. Okay, he was Backtrack the Leaper. He took the shittiest Marvel character just so he could get his hands on that.
That's Backtrack the Leaper.
Backtrack the Leaper. But you know what? He took the shittiest character just so he could get his hands on that son of a bitch Chris Evans and fuck him up. And he lost.
Did you say he's the shittiest Marvel character?
He's in the running. Batroc the Leaper.
Because that would be Cyclops.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking pussy-ass bitch.
Yes.
Cyclops is a piece of shit.
Say it, Meef. You can say it.
You don't want to say it.
Crayon munching cunt.
Yeah, that as well.
Fuck it.
I like Cran Muncher. Like, I think that's gonna be a new official insult on the show.
It's so good. When I heard it, I actually cried with laughter.
I heard the red ones taste like mint.
Amazing.
Oh, speaking of which, oh my God, you guys, did you see the news from Nintendo about the Switch?
What's up with that thing? I heard John Cena loves it.
They apparently some of the guys, I think it's probably Giant Bomb. If it wasn't Giant Bomb, it was probably Giant Bomb. They decided to taste one of the Switch cartridges, and they're like, "Holy shit, this tastes fucking disgusting!" And it turns out Nintendo put horrible taste crystals in the Switch cartridges so the kids wouldn't swallow them because they're like little like DS.
That's awesome.
Never mind, it's a petroleum-based product.
But if you're gonna do that and you're gonna publicize it, first thing everyone's gonna do is put one of those fucking cartridges in their mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now with a DS cartridge.
I'm off downtown now. I'm gonna buy a console just to do it.
Just to eat it. What are you eating, Urban?
God,
is
that Persona Q? Don't eat that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
those are not biscuits. Those aren't crisps. I'm sorry, Meef is here. Crisps.
Can you imagine explaining this? How did Urban die on a live podcast?
He choked to death on Persona Q.
Eating DS crisps.
He got Persona
he died the way he wanted to live his life.
Throat while a cigarette lit a fire around him in the barn.
All right, hey, I got to give some quick picks for UFC this weekend because I promised a few people my picks tonight. I say Mark Hunt beats the living mess pods out of Overeem.
Agreed.
Mike Hunt.
I think Lando Groovy Venata is going to get the win over Tamur. I want to see Rashad win, and he's got a guy he can win against, so I'm going to pick him anyway over Kelly.
It's got to be Rashad. It's got to be Rashad.
Here's where, well, you never know. This could be the last run for Rashad, but it's like if he really can't beat this guy, it's a tune-up fight. If he cannot beat this guy, he has to hang it up. There's no two ways about it.
You shouldn't be coming and getting fights when you claim brain damage before.
That was the New York State Athletic Commission finding something irregular that they just didn't know how to explain in time. But New York is new to this whole MMA thing, as we're seeing.
That's true. That's very true.
And then what should be the headlining fight, Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov. Everyone hates my pick. I'm going to pick Tony El Kukui Ferguson, and I'm going to tell you why.
Right. But, I love Khabib, but I think Kukui's going to win.
Because I feel like Khabib is one-dimensional, and he's really good at that one dimension, but I feel like Tony is the right guy to finally expose that. Now, where Tony could lose is if he tries too hard for a submission. If he really thinks, I'll just let Khabib take me down and then I'll tie him up in something. He could do that, but I think that that's a 50-50 shot, and he should avoid that. I think he should work the outside. People don't know how good a boxer Tony Ferguson is. I've stood next to that dude in the gym. I've seen his footwork. I know how he can box. Khabib's got none of that. I mean, Tony's a dude who will hit the speed bags and then throw in elbows and knees on the speed bag while it's still going.
I used to be able to do that.
I did that too, and then I got hit in the face with the fucking speed bag, so I stopped.
Yeah, and those people don't realize that shit hurts too. It's not on a spring; it's fucking metal chain and that leather with a lot of stripes on the outside that will score you up good.
Yeah, just get a line down your fucking face.
Yeah, I've been hitting the dome plenty of times by speed bags because I am
I
not good at
I
that.
film it and then put it in slow motion. I'm sorry, speed it up. Sorry, and
So
then put Minute Hill music over the top.
And I'm not saying that Khabib is bad. I mean, I think that these are the two best guys in the world at 155 in any promotion out there. Period. The two best guys in the entire world at 155 pounds. I'm glad it's for an interim belt. It should be for the main belt, but I also really like Conor, so I'm kind of glad it's not. I'm glad he's going to have his bullshit claims when he comes back that he's still the 45 champ, that he's still the 55 champ, and then he can build some more money fights for everybody. And I feel sorry for Conor being on the receiving end of either Khabib or Tony. The best thing he could do would be to never defend the 55 belt either and go and make a bunch of money in boxing or something else, because facing either of those guys for Conor is bad news. But I really do think Tony is the one guy in that 55-pound division that can actually expose Khabib and get the win over him. I think it goes long. And it's not pretty, and it's going to be a 5-rounder because it is for the interim title now. So even though they're not the main event, Tony's got his work cut out for him because he has to last all 5 rounds, and I think that he can, and I think it's going to give Khabib fits. Now, Tyron Woodley, my man, Sage Northcutt's new surrogate uncle, versus Stephen Wonder Boy White Bread Thompson.
This is going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a great fight. And I have to say, I honestly will be happy with either one of these guys walking out the champion. We've already seen this fight. It wasn't as great the first time. I believe that Wonder Boy was not 100%. But I also think Tyron figured out some good things about Wonder Boy in that match. I think they may have both figured out some things about each other. So I honestly expect a 100% different fight this time. And I feel like I'm going to give the edge to Woodley. I feel like he's got the ability to grind him out, but this is a real close fight in my opinion. I'm going to go with Woodley, but I wouldn't be upset to see either of them win, and I think this is a very, very close fight. What do you think?
So you saying decision?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 5-round decision for Woodley. I know that's a tough call. I mean, I think if it's going to be a knockout, that Stephen Wonderboy would be the one to get it, but Tyron's chin is tough too.
Yeah, shit. Like I got Woodley, but I don't know.
I feel like Wonderboy learned enough about Tyron that Woodley couldn't ground and pound him out. I mean, I feel like Wonderboy's looking for that and expecting it. So
yeah, but sometimes you don't have a choice, Justin. Sometimes someone just imposes their will so much that you're fucked.
I'm excited. Is there anything good on the undercards?
Look, undercard, man.
I think they're all pretty standard. Like, yeah, there's nothing special that I'm seeing on there. There's some good fights, but there's nothing special. So Casey, no, wait, didn't some more people quit AAA this week?
Yeah, people in the office quit AAA this week.
Interesting.
The graphic guy.
Yeah,
came up with like Pentagon and Dragos.
There's one of the PR guys left, and one of the internet guy left. And
where's Oscar at in this?
Hayashi.
Oscar's one of the guys that left. Yeah. And Hayashi.
Thank God.
Yeah, Hayashi's
Oscar.
like gone.
Yeah.
Oscar is probably hanging out with Yoni.
Oscar is one of the greatest dudes I've ever met in my life.
He is a wonderful person, and he never got credit for all the cool shit that he did.
Yes.
He actually really deserves a lot of credit, and good guy, probably follows all of us on Twitter if we know it or not, and is, you know, hey, if he's gone, I hope he finds a promotion that appreciates him and gives him the credit that is due to him.
Well, you think TNA might be that place? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
There's
look,
one, isn't there?
it seems like there's a Crash TNA symbiosis going on here, and I feel like that might be the way that some of these guys can make some money.
Well, you know, he's
it's
a
a bad
guy,
scene for the Lucha Underground guys, though, because they can't do the TNA stuff, even if they can do the Crash stuff.
It sucks because he's a guy that brought AAA out of the fucking Stone Age when they were one step above a fucking GeoCities site. And he didn't get a lot of credit for that. And if you think it's bad in AAA, CMLL's worse. And because they're the most fucking Luddite wrestling promotion I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, it's like, dude, you got to be on the cutting edge of this stuff. And if the Crash gets him, that's a good get. And if TNA gets him, it's a good get because they could use some help on that side too, because their website's kind of boo-boo as well sometimes.
Maybe he can just go work for AR Fox and get AR Fox on the internet.
Dude, I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna seriously bust AR Fox's balls about it until he has a Twitter.
You should just fly to Wrestle Reunion and like just follow him around all day. Or WrestleCon, I'm sorry. It was Wrestle Reunion when I went, and it was interesting. I got to hug Masquerita Sagrada. I mean, no, Masquerita Dorada, the good one.
Dorada.
What? What do you mean the good one? What the fuck?
Masquerita Dorada is probably top 5 best high flyers in the world. He just does not get the credit for it because he's a little person. He was Torito for way too long. Him and Demas had a match, and it was fucking great. Oh man, it was awesome, and I got to see it in person. I was so happy, and those guys, tremendous together.
Urban, you just subscribed to the show that you've been on 12 times tonight.
No, fuck that. I've subscribed before, and for some reason it unsubscribed me.
Oh,
he unsubscribed. He unsubscribed.
I think that's something you gotta blame on YouTube. I have actually subscribed before. I even got a fucking live notification. You guys went live.
Yeah,
because I'm subscribed to you.
Urban Heretic over here.
Easy. Don't be insulting people by saying they're all up in Twitwow. That's not cool.
Fucking Mask Bats and Chaos is Urban Heretic. Fucking Lucha and Till's Urban Heretic over.
Oh god, that was the funniest internet drama of the whole week. Was that DJ was ribbing? Who are the guys?
I think they're called Lucha and Chill now, which is a Mass Republic shirt. And
yeah, so these guys were like, "Oh, we want to start a Lucha Underground podcast," and DJ blatantly ribbing them. Like, this wasn't trying to be secretive at all. And he was like, maybe you should try Mass Mats and Chaos or The Last Real Faces, or like, I mean, obviously bad ones that were clearly ripoffs of other people, or
did he say Clip Power, or was that you? That was you.
I said Clip Pow. I said Clip Pow.
Yeah.
And these guys, we all thought that they were ribbing them, and then I threw out some suggestions too, and then they're like, okay, Matt's Masks and Chaos it is.
That's where I came in.
And then within not even 10 or 15 minutes, they had a Twitter up with 60 followers, which isn't huge, but 60 immediately is pretty good. Under Mass Mats and Chaos. And I was just like, whoa. Who do I have to file a trademark with? I was like, DJ, who in your office knows how to file a trademark so we can get this handled?
It's
Welcome to the game, boys.
Because Lucha Gringo, the show's official trademark lawyer, kind of went a little hard in the paint at the poor gentleman that had no idea what was going on. Sorry, not sorry.
Threw some elbows in the paint.
You are our trademark lawyer when you got gimmick thieved.
It doesn't
he stole
matter.
The gimmick. He stole the gimmick, didn't he?
We don't know. It's unclear who was the first Lucha Gringo.
Hey, you know what? There are no gimmicks needed. I threatened to fucking stab somebody, and then they changed their podcast name. So, hey, You know what? Fuck, Pentagon's still wrestling. Who's the better trademark person?
This is Casey Roldan here.
Yeah.
Exactly. I need to lose about 5 feet off of my height and
Get a
add-
massive forehead.
Keith, if you're watching, my copy is sitting right here. We definitely got to get Matt on soon, now that we have a more regular schedule. The author of this book, Matt Wallace, has been wanting to come on our show forever, but all
Dude, we
fall
gotta
long,
get
we
Matt
so excited.
on. We gotta get Keith on.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Keith, if you're watching right now, yes, the book is sitting right here. It's been read. We got to do this thing, man. We just didn't have a regular schedule in fall, and now we're doing every Thursday night. So maybe we can hook something up very soon.
And Keith, if you're not on here beforehand, I promise to say hello at Monster Pizza. I will see you there for sure.
Keith's like, you guys are dicks. You guys are having guests on every week and shit. We were supposed to be on a million years ago, and he's totally right. But
Yeah.
we just never had a set schedule before. So, and I blame Byron mostly.
Because legit, Keith is a pioneer of English wrestling, English-speaking wrestling fans, with his From Parts Unknown magazine. Like that was way before we were, way before Cubs fan was.
Yeah.
And
What's Cubs fan doing? You think he's having a cheeseburger with somebody?
I don't know. He's from Chicago. I don't think he's having a cheeseburger. I think he's having a deep dish pizza.
Oh, you're crazy, dude. There's some great
dude. Oh my
burger spots in Chicago.
I saw a picture of a pizza from Urban that was
Dude, the deep dish pizza is dope, but at Kuma Burger, it's like they blast this like heavy metal with all the high end rolled out, and they just fix you the best burger you've ever had in Chicago. People wait outside for hours for those.
Do you speak Japanese, Justin?
Hi, so this.
You know what fucking Kuma means? It means bear. You're eating a bear. That's fucking terrible. Bears are adorable.
No. It's not that. It's because the guy on the grill looks a little bit like Urban and likes boys.
Oh, okay.
So it probably makes a little sense now, right?
Urban, I want to suggest a music video for you to watch for cinematography reasons. Bear Force 1.
Well, then what you need to do is when Urban is playing video games, you need to go on his Twitch, and you need to put in a music request on his Twitch and give the man some views to make him watch horrible bear joke videos.
No,
Bear Force 1.
Let's not call them horrible before he sees them, Justin.
I'm sorry. You're correct. They might not. Hey, I was DJing on his Twitch page one day, and I picked a lot of good ass music.
Oh, speaking of horrible,
I don't know where you guys were.
Justin, you bastard! God, you didn't let me do my Shutter pick of the week yet.
Okay, do your Shutter pick of the week. I'm not gonna stop you.
Is it Frailty?
No, but you know what? That's also on Netflix Instant as well. Because as much of a cinematic masterpiece that Frailty is, and I think everyone should see it, there's another movie that I think everyone should see. And it's called Deathbed, The Bed That Eats. Yes.
No.
I think you all need to see it because it's a movie about a bed that eats. It doesn't just eat people. It fucking eats some chicken. It's fucking amazing. And let me tell you, you would think that this movie would be amazing. There are some really boring parts. So have your fast forward button until you see the bed, because half the movie is a Robert Smith looking motherfucker crying. But then you have the bed that eats. And that's the important part. Because it's not called Crying Robert Smith looking motherfucker. It's called Deathbed, The Bed That Eats.
You're amazing. Deathbed, The Bed That Eats. That's Casey's
Doesn't Robert Smith just constantly cry anyway?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He cries into his piles of money.
Yeah.
So look, you guys all missed out on the sweater, the MMM show sweater, and the awesome discount we had on it. You got one?
It's called the Jumper.
Yeah.
Well, there's still a discount you can get. If you want those Brave Immortal tickets down in San Diego, you can go and you can get them on, what's the address? Let me look up the address so I don't mess this up. It's bravewrestling.yapsody.com. bravewrestling.yapsody.com. Enter promo code MMM. Just MMM, 3 M's. That's all it takes. Get you 15% discount off the June 4th show. Support local, man. There's good wrestlers on there. We were talking about Shane Strickland earlier tonight. He's on that card. His match has already been announced. Dragon Rojo Jr.'s on there. which I know some of you are stoked about. Elijah Burke's
I'm
on
fucking
there.
stoked. Dude,
Prime Time's there. Hernandez is going to be there. Baby Nuts himself will be there.
I'm bringing my belt.
He's going to hate this.
I gotta call that guy up,
He's
man.
calling me Baby Nuts.
I haven't talked to him in
Please
forever.
don't have him border toss me, please. I don't want to get border tossed. That
I know they're
looks
working
like-
on some more match announcements too. Hopefully, if they got another match lined up, maybe we'll get the scoop on it next week. We'll find out. But anyway,
Fuck yeah, dude. We got like Scorpio Sky. We got fucking Shane Strickland, right? We got fucking Desmond Xavier.
Jax Dane is there. Michael Tarver's there. It's a good card. Like
Fucking
still
Tarver. Fucking the gem of the fucking Nexus, Michael Tarver.
and then and don't forget Hall of Famer Teddy Long is going to be there too. Playa.
Manager of Soul Brothers Doom with their great theme song.
They might still have some front row packages available too, so you can get your discount. Doors at 6 is Street Force, Jacob Center, San Diego, 50% discount if you use MMM show or just MMM at bravewrestling.yapsity.com.
Casey, what about Sergeant Pitbull? What was his name?
Craig the Pitbull Pittman, the master of the Code Red, Fujiwara Armbar.
Wasn't he a manager of him in WCW at some point?
When he tried turning face for like a week, yeah, and it was gone. And then Cobra became NWO Sting and shit. Yeah.
How do you guys remember these things?
Because it was.
I just brought that up because I try to fucking get Casey in a work.
I mean, like I remember like Disco's angles and like Norman Smiley and
Disco was just there to fucking get over by himself. Like that's all he did was dance like an asshole.
See, I love those guys though. I like guys like that. But just
hey, Disco Inferno had the best. The leg lock gimmick was the shit. I said this on the Cross show. It was my favorite. He had like a diagram to tell him how to do it, and then he lost it. It got ripped up, and he couldn't do his leg lock. Tremendous.
All right, Alex Wright, over or garbage?
Fucking amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
Do the dance.
The Urban Shuffle.
Just asking. All right, anybody else got anything else?
I have this to show Byron. This is for Byron because he posted something about Funko Pops.
Byron wants to talk about FSW, but hopefully when we go to that FSW show, we're going to record some stuff for this show.
Yeah.
You know what I want to talk about? SMD, Byron. Boom. Oh.
It's awesome. Pentagon Funko by Boo Nanny on Twitter.
Her name is Boo Nanners on Twitter.
Boo Nanners. Sorry, I'm sorry. I need to go to sleep. Typo. But you can go to my Twitter and Instagram. You can see a picture of this incredible custom-made Pentagon Dark.
Mouth bastard.
You're just trying to put yourself over. You're just trying to get more followers.
Then she's tagged in it, and then you go click on her thing and go see her stuff and ask her to make you one for money because she did a really phenomenal job.
Are you clickbaiting right now?
10 stars out of 5. Tokyo Dome level Funko.
There we go. That's a good picture.
Oh shit! Look at that! Look at that!
Neef, are you sculpted that?
In progress, right there.
That's pretty awesome. I think you should make it out of croissant dough, though, so that when you bake it, you can eat it later.
Why would you know? It's gonna be anatomically correct, Justin. That's wrong.
You know who that is, though, right? Casey, that he's making.
That's the evil. That's the good twin of Justin.
Yeah. I don't know. There is a Phantom Pop.
I'm back. I'm fucking back. God
what
damn.
happened?
USB fucking disconnected. I'm back.
Actually, Byron muted you the whole time.
I thought you were supposed to be the high-tech podcaster of all of us with the good camera.
But when I'm fucking drunk, my feet move and then USB cables get disconnected. It happens. Yeah, okay. Now Byron's muting Lucha Underground.
Oh, suck my dick, Byron. Mute that.
Urban, when's the next episode of Last Real Heels?
Next week sometime. I don't know what we're doing.
And we told people listening earlier that listened to Famous B that if they want to hear more Famous B, they should go back and check the archives. Are your archives still up?
You shouldn't have done that.
They're not there anymore.
They're not there anymore. Look, they tried to fucking charge me $49.99. Fuck that bullshit.
Well, if you guys want to see the old Famous B stuff, you guys are gonna have to tweet at Urban Heretic 187 to tell him to post those first when he starts uploading archival
I'll get 'em.
stuff.
I got the
what you
laptop.
gotta do is, if you want to hear more Famous B, sign out of your YouTube account, go on a different computer, create a new YouTube account, and watch our show again so that we get more views.
I love it.
I like it too. I just wanted to hit the tagline, and then Byron muted me.
Well, hit the
geez.
I did not mute you.
Here's how we'll do this. Here's how
You
we
would
do
have
it.
seen it.
Okay, now
How are we
hit
doing
it?
it?
Now
I
hit
didn't.
the tagline.
Hold on.
Byron, mute.
Fake news.
That's it. God damn, that's spicy as fuck. URBANHERETIC 187. Did it.
Okay,
Did it.
Byron, you're back on again. You're allowed back now. And now you've got nothing.
Fake
All right.
news.
Anyway, anybody got anything else? Are we done? Does anybody know if we're done?
I would like to say goodnight, everybody. Stay cool and stay in the mix. Oh!
So close, but not right. Anybody else want to try?
Remember to train, say your prayers, take your vitamins, pray to the big NWOI in the sky. Just remember that.
Byron, show them how it's done. How do you sign off from the show?
Keep in the
Enjoy
area,
your
isn't it?
burrito.
Stay in the mix, hombres.
Lame.
Until next time, enjoy your burrito.
Meef, let's give Meef a shot. Can you figure this out, Meef?
And good night from the Sunshine State, you marks.
Gordon Soley, motherfucker.
All right,
It's
Meef.
cheers and beers, isn't it? Cheers and beers.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Urban, your try.
Stay cool and stay in the mix. What?
No, God. You guys all suck. You guys all
We're leaving it for the master.
And knowing is
No, not and knowing is half the battle. You're all lame. You're all awful. You're terrible humans. You know what this means? This means that none of you has ever listened to the show long enough to get to the end. And when it ends like this. Until next time, stay. Oh, you son of a bitch. Stay calm and stay in the
Byron
mix.
has a small penis.
Let's try it one more time.
No.
Until next time, stay calm.
Fake news.
Man, this.
Fake news. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching.
Press the big red button.
See you next
Stay
week.
calm and
And-
mayonnaise sticks.
May the force be with you.
Stay calm and stay in the mix.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Price check on a jackass.
Price
bye,
check
chaps.
on a jackass.
Hate you guys. Stay calm, stay in the mix. Bye.